What's going on, guys? Creative Solutionist here. Please let me know if you can hear me. Gotta know that my voice is in the place before I get started. I hope you came to be submissive. I really do. Let me know. Give me a one in the chat. Say hello. Definitely don't forget to like the stream before you leave because I probably will upset you tonight. But yeah, if you're here, let me know you can hear me. I'm just waiting to get a response in the chat here, and then your girl will be on camera. Don't even trip. I got you. We're not going faceless tonight. Sweet. All right. Thank you, Still Rocks. Coming through. There I am. All right, give me 1 second. I'm going to turn off this music here and we're going to get started. So, look, I am not trying to be here with y'all all night, but let me go ahead and get the introductions out of the way. I am Victoria, your credit solutionist, owner of PX Credit Solutions, where we help you secure your financial future today. I am also the author of the 90-Day Rapid Repair mini ebook. So be sure to go pick up your free copy of that ebook over at fixmyficonow.com if you are looking to get your credit repair journey started all by yourself because you are autonomous and you don't need nobody's help, baby. Go on over to fixmyficonow.com and download it. It's just a free gift from me to you saying thanks for checking out the channel. All right. Now, I first want to thank you guys that came by Friday's live stream because I know that one was a heavy hitter. My girl, Mentor Shelly and Cherie over at Black Women Making Money came through and we did a little bit of a case study on our girl, Black Chyna. Now, I know some of y'all are buying this. I done seen the Instagrams and I done seen y'all just pushing this child up. I don't blame you, but I'm still not buying it. So in tonight's live stream, we're not really going to go in on Chyna that much, but I wanted to talk about a lesson that I picked up from it after having this conversation with the ladies and really taking an objective look at this entire situation. I want to talk about the power of the pivot tonight and what we can learn from what Black Chyna is actually doing. Because I think this transition from hoe to housewife. There's no other way to say it, y'all. But going from a hoe to a housewife, there's a little bit more in this transition that I think we're not really observing. And that's that there is a psychological factor going on here. It's not really the idea that she's changed her image. It's the psychology behind it. And I wanted to dive into that tonight. So, as you guys come in, like the stream, let me know where you're watching from. I see some of y'all already in the chat. I'm going to try to do better tonight because y'all know I don't be looking at the chat at all. So just work with me. Work with me. Hey, girl, listen. So I'm actually inspired to do this live stream, Miss Goddess Athena, from Saturday. I don't know how long you stuck around, Missy, but I got read for filth. Okay. I got grabbed by my braids and swung around the room, and it was tragic, boo. So I don't know if you saw that, but that was behind somebody else's paywall, y'all. Y'all ain't gonna ever see that. But thank you guys for stopping through. So anyway, as far as the power of the pivot, we talked about Black Chyna and her transition. And we did a 3-hour long case study, right? Because there were just so many layers to it. And essentially speaking, the girl just hit a wall and she had to pivot. Now, I do think that there is a psychology behind why she chose to go in the direction that she did with her pivot. And I might talk about that a little bit later. But tonight's live stream is really here to drive home a simple point. If you have not created a plan for your life, and if you have not kind of figured out where you're going to pivot and at what points you're going to pivot and walk away from situations or jump into new situations, if you don't have a plan for your life, somebody else has one for you, and you are currently help build that other person's life. Don't shoot the messenger. This is the truth, okay? So if you're sitting here and your only plan is to get up tomorrow and go to work and you don't have a plan for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years from now, well, guess what? You're building your boss's legacy, your boss's boss, and more importantly, the owner of that company, all right? Again, I don't make these rules. I'm just here to tell you what the truth is. Now, no matter what side of this aisle you stand on, I think we can all agree that pivoting is definitely necessary for your growth. So if you are one of the people that is actually on your way to a pivot, please let me know in the chat. Like, you don't have to tell us exactly what you're doing to change your life or anything like that. But I like to know that my audience is people that want to grow, and they obviously are here because they want to learn how to do those things. Hey, Rod, I got to email you because you need to come on the channel, sir. Listen, I hope you can speak now. Sir, looking at you. Oh my God, did you really? Okay, I'm embarrassed, Athena. Okay, I might mention some of what happened, but anyway, let me get this off the screen. Okay, so again, drop your city and state if you feel so inclined. And also, like, I'm sure that some of what I'm going to say tonight is going to resonate with you. So I want to actually open the forum for you to participate, because I know my East Coast people is kind of late, but for the West Coast folks, maybe you're driving home or you're about to eat dinner or something. So I'm going to drop a link in the chat so you guys can pop up and talk to me or give your input about what I'm saying if you feel so inclined. Of course, keep it G-rated. We are not a late night show like that, okay? So let me do that real quick. I'm going to drop the link because I'm definitely going to invite anybody that wants to come in to chat with me. If you have an opinion about something that I'm saying tonight, if you disagree, you're more than welcome to politely disagree. I'm good with that. But moderators, do your job tonight. Okay. Hey, Ori. I guess that's how you say it. Thanks for coming by. I know you were there on Friday. That was great. It was, yes, girl, it was needed because I learned my lesson that day. And it really got me to thinking about the submissive thing. And that is why I'm doing this show tonight, because the truth of the matter is, when it comes to submission, I think that, the word submission in and of itself has been taken and it has literally been bastardized. Like, everybody's using it and they're using it for the wrong reasons. When I say submissive, yes, I could mean relationships. Yes, I could mean husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. But the truth of the matter is, real change does not come in your life until you decide to be submissive to whatever it is that you want. Like with our girl, Black Chyna, she was not submissive to the system that she was trying to work in. So what happened? She got booted, right? If you're in a relationship and you're with a guy that wants you to be submissive and you're not submissive, you're going to have a problem. You're going to be butting heads and you will never make progress. The point of submission is literally relinquishing your power and accepting that there are some things in these processes or some things in these arenas that you want to jump into that you don't know. You have to accept that. There's a reason, again, that people call me at mycreditcall.com, because it's like, you done hit a dead end. Because you've been literally not being submissive this entire time. You, for whatever reason, you've been resistant to the change, but something happened where you hit the wall, you pivoted, and that's why you called me, right? That's just one example, y'all. But I think that we can definitely learn something. The thing I'm talking about with Miss Athena here, I'll just be very brief about it. There are parts of my life that I was very resistant about and didn't realize that I was being resistant because, number one, I was keeping a lot of things inside my own head, right? And creating all these weird pathologies that I didn't realize were weird or a little off until I said them out loud and somebody called me out on it. They didn't coddle me. They didn't get on my Instagram and say, girl, it's okay. They said, no, it's not okay. Actually, your thought process is a little wacky and I'm going to need you to take several seats and listen to what I have to say, right? Athena was there. She could tell you, girl. Tell him in the chat, Athena, did I seem to become submissive during that conversation? I hope so, because I literally was read for filth, for lack of a better term. But I accepted it because I am developing a submissive nature in which I have to start listening to people that have information that I want. Okay. So anyway, who is this video for today? It is not for people that want to come in and be messy, but this video is for those of you that really feel like you have sincerely hit a wall. For the most part, I know YouTube tells me that my demographics are like from the age of 34 to about 45. And this is really the age where you start to kind of build your life. Like, you're kind of thinking, okay, do I want to buy a house? Do I want to have kids? Do I want to get married? Like, all of these things are like changes that you want to make in your life. So a lot of y'all have come to my channel because you have actually hit a wall. And we're not talking about the manosphere wall. We're not talking about your sexual market value. We're talking about a wall where you've done everything right. You went to school, you got a good job, but for some reason, you still cannot get ahead. Either you don't get along with your boss, I don't know what it is. You probably married the wrong person, whatever, but you've hit a wall and you need an answer. And my live stream tonight is to really bring home the idea that I think submission is actually your answer. Okay. Because really, you're never going to be able to pivot and become somebody new until you submit. You have to submit. Okay. So I need for us to take away some of the sting, of that word and really take it back to elementary where we learned what submission actually really meant, right? Okay, so I promise I'm gonna get into it, y'all. But Mentor Shelly, thank you, girl, for coming by. I'm gonna try to pay attention to the chat tonight. Pivoting from corporate plantation to full-time. Exactly. So it's like, literally speaking, part of what I was talking about during this live stream is the idea that, in your mind, you think that, oh, I work this 9 to 5, I effing hate it, right? But then when you go into business, if you don't have the right playbook before you go into business, or you don't know any business owners that will give you some insight on what that life actually looks like, you will burn the hell out. And that's part of what I'm experiencing lately here. Now, with this conversation that I had, it came to me that I have a misconception about what a boss bitch is. I have a misconception about what a business owner is. I have a misconception about what freedom is. And here I am trying to sell it to you. But I didn't know that I had the wrong idea until I submitted to listening to outside influence, right? It's tiring to do everything yourself. Because in our heads, we think when I start this business, I'll have enough time. There's Chat GPT. I can get all of my I can get all of my content written in an hour. It'll be fine. I can do this and kick my feet up on a beach somewhere. Wrong. Okay, wrong. I am literally so burned out with certain processes. I can't even think straight half the time, y'all. So that was what I learned this weekend. Step back, take your time, submit to the process, okay? Okay, great. I'm glad to know that you're down. All right. Hey, White Crew, where have you been? My lordy lord. It has been a while. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And you totally understand what I'm talking about. So again, this video is for those of you that have hit the wall. And I'm talking to the person who has results that do not match their efforts. It's like you've literally done everything right, like I talked about. The life you're currently living doesn't feel like it's yours. That was the biggest epiphany that I had this weekend. The life that I'm living, though it may look like something to the outside people, like the outside viewer, my life is not the thing that I thought it would be by this time in my life, right? And I know you feel that as well. It's not easy to get up and say that because, see, you're told that because you're educated, because you have a house or even an apartment in a nice area, because you make maybe close to 6 figures or over 6 figures, you were taught that that's all you need. So when you have these feelings of feeling insecure, or you have these moments where you feel inadequate, or things are just not going in the right direction, or hell, even your credit could suck. Because I've talked to some people that look real good on the surface, but they're falling apart financially. The issue here is that you don't feel like you can talk to anybody about that because on the outside, you have done everything right. But the part of this that they don't tell you is that there's actually a playbook that you have to be working with, right? The other thing that I think that I've picked up from this, because I wasn't able to quite put my finger on why I was feeling this lack of satisfaction, I guess. And I know some of you guys go through that too. I really thought at first that it was all in my head because society does tell us that we're doing well, right? It tells us that we're doing well. Like women are buying more homes than men now. We don't know why. There's a lot that goes into that. So I want ladies to not get too excited about that because there's a lot that goes into that as far as why y'all could get one and a man can't. Because anyway, we're not going to talk about that. I'm here to tell you that you're not imagining things. That's the first thing that I wanted to really touch on in this live stream. So like I said, if you're here for garbage and mess, you're not going to get it tonight. I'm really here to talk to that person that needs to hear this tonight. Okay. And I don't plan on being here very long. But I'm not going to go super conspiracy theory on you, But besides the submission thing, the reason submission is going to be so important in your pivot is because the first thing that you have to admit and you have to accept, don't fight me on this now, you have to accept that depending on what you look like and where you came from, you are trying to work within a system that was created for you to either fail or not succeed or stay at a certain base level, because you being at that base level is why the structure exists in the way that it does in the first place. Now, I have to be careful with what I'm saying and how I'm saying this because I know what I'm talking about. And my girl, Goddess Athena, I kind of explained it on Saturday behind the paywall. This is true. And like I said, I can't really say too much, but there's a reason some of y'all walk into these corporate offices every day. And though you have a high position, you know damn well you don't fit in. You know damn well that there's a glass ceiling there. And again, the reason is because you were not part of that system to begin with. Okay. So I'm not saying quit your job tomorrow. I'm not saying that it's necessarily a negative thing. I'm just saying that once you accept the reality of what the system is and the ecosystem is that you're inside of, you can then understand you need a plan and you need to pivot. Okay. I know somebody in the audience might feel what I'm saying, but you might not, or maybe it's not quite getting to you yet, but you're going to feel me. You're going to feel me. Okay. But the reason that you're going to need to pivot, really, like I said, is because you went into this arena and you didn't have the correct playbook. And that's pretty much what happened to our girl, Black Chyna. So you definitely have to be submissive. And I learned this a long time ago. So I want to kind of share a story with y'all, if I can kind of remember it, because I try to block this out of my head. But I had a moment in time where I was on a trajectory to be very successful, right? As far as what the society told me, right? I'm this single Black woman, young Black woman, just hit, well, 30 years old is still young, right? But I think I was like 30 or 31 or something. And I had just gotten my first corporate job. And I was pretty much plucked out, because I was a young Black girl, and I got pulled into a corporate situation. Now, what I didn't realize going into that corporate situation was that there was a playbook required. Now, the reason that I didn't know that there was a playbook required here was because a lot of the people that I worked with, I had actually known for a couple of years. Like I knew them in other facets of my industry. When I went into this place, I thought, this is great. This is just like working with like your friends. This is going to be amazing. Like it's going to be easy to pivot. It's going to be able to, I'm going to be able to get promoted. This is going to be so great. Like I can finally get the accolades for my hard work, right? Wrong. There was an entire playbook that was going on in there that I had no clue about. No clue. I didn't know going into this job that some of the things that I thought were great about it were not. Number one, it was a very small part of a very big organization. So I love the exclusivity of it. I love that it was a small group of people. I love that, it was just nice. Like there was a lot of camaraderie there. That kind of tricked me a little bit though, because it was deceptive. It was deceptively like awesome. Because what I didn't realize is that when the group is that small, it's very easy for you to be ostracized if you misstep. If you say something about one person to another person, you got to realize you got to know the relationship between those two before you go talking, right? That's something I didn't learn because before that, I was out in the field doing my thing, had autonomy. Nobody came and messed with me. But when you're in a group with people, the dynamic changes. Nobody taught me that, not even the people that I knew for years. You see that? So how was I supposed to learn? Well, in my case, there was a lot of trial and error. There were so many aspects of going into corporate life that I was just never taught, and really life lessons that I was never taught that I couldn't translate it into becoming successful in that arena. I didn't realize going in every day, it was almost like, yeah, I work here. Yes, I like you guys, but I'm on a battlefield. I'm literally having to figure out how I'm going to survive another day, 5 years, 10 years. What does my life even look like here? Am I supposed to only socialize with my direct department, or do I make sure that I socialize with other departments too? Is that frowned upon? I don't know. These were things that I just didn't learn. But the most important thing that I didn't learn and that nobody cared to tell me was that when I went into this place, my career trajectory had already been planned for me. I didn't know that. Now, remember what I said about if you don't have a plan, someone else will make one for you? I was an easy target to bring into that situation because they knew I didn't have a plan. Now, none of them will ever admit that, but once you start to look at things with a different set of eyes, you can see that. So, when you go into work tomorrow, I want you to really look around, think about your coworkers, think about your higher ups. Now, don't treat them any different, but I want you to observe what's going on. What's the atmosphere there? I was a person that went in thinking, oh, I'll work here for a year or two and then I'll get promoted. What I didn't realize is that everybody that was there had been in their respective positions for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. I wasn't smart enough to see that because these people were there for so long, it literally meant there was no room for growth. And I know that sounds odd, and you're like, what does that have to do with anything? But seriously, these are little things that we ignore when we go into offices, right? I was one of the younger people, of course, whatever. But that was part of what I didn't observe when I walked in there. Now, that's my fault. Okay. The other thing, like I said, was that I'm over here working to go in a certain direction once I decided I knew what my career path was going to be. And then when I attempted to go in that direction, I was literally throttled. And I was told to my face, yeah, we know you want to do this, but this job over here is the only one that we actually even see you in. So try again somewhere else, I guess. I don't know. So it didn't matter that I had put in 7 years with this company, like 3 in the field, 4 in the office. They didn't care about that. All they cared about was, oh, when this person retires, we're going to put her right in there. Do you understand? By putting me in that position, I was then going to be stifled and literally stuck there for the rest of my life. I came to that realization when I had a talk with I wouldn't even say a friend. This is another thing that happens to a lot of you. You have these people that you work with for years, and then something happens and you realize that they're not your friends, right? It's very dog eat dog, even though it seems very, very calm. Mentor Shelly, if you're here, I know you can relate to what I'm talking about. And I know you be getting on me. You get on me when I talk like this, but girl, I have to tell people about these things because I think that it's very important for younger women, even the men, to understand like, y'all, they have already picked and like figured out where they want to put us before we even get in there. Seriously, this is a real thing. So anyway, like I said, I noticed that there were just a lot of relationships that had formed and bonded before I got there. Not only had some of these people worked together since the department's inception, but they worked together 20 plus years before that together. So I'm going in, part of my job was to audit also. So I had to catch a lot of mistakes. The issue with catching mistakes is that I'm catching the mistakes of my coworkers. So there's already an issue there. Okay. But I'm so dumb. I never thought that could be an issue. It's like, oh, I'm just an auditor. It's not a problem. But when I start finding mistakes that could get people fired or get people openly investigated and things like that, then I become the enemy. Now, they're not going to tell me I'm the enemy. However, I didn't learn it until I left because I wasn't submissive to this entire process. I literally went in there with my own ideas about how I was going to do my job and really had the idea that I was just going to do my job. So I think something a lot of y'all are starting to realize, which is part of why you're hitting that wall, is because you literally think all you got to do is go do your job. And that's because you're not submissive. You're not submissive to the process. You're not submissive to the department, wherever the hell you work, and you're not submissive to the process for growth. And it could literally be because you're not meant for that system. And that's okay. And that's mostly what I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight. Now, I'm gonna get on Chyna, so don't worry about it. But I felt like I had to explain this submission thing because, again, I feel like it has been bastardized. It has been taken by relationship people and all these idiots that, well, let me not say they idiots because they might not be. Because look, they be pulling numbers that I be just dreaming about. Okay. So let me take that back. I would like to retract that statement. They not idiots. But you understand what I'm saying. So I hope that explanation of submission kind of makes a little more sense to you. And guys, don't forget, there is a link if you want to come up and talk. You don't have to get on camera or anything like that, but I would love, love, love to talk to you guys tonight if you guys are cool with that. Let me see. Let me get back in these comments and then I'm going to keep on going. Don't even trip, y'all. I got you. Oh, here we go. Yeah. So you're telling them what happened. Girl, listen. So yes, I accepted the truth, which most people don't. Yes. And I don't know, Athena. Maybe I should give them a little bit of information. So, okay, I'm not going to say everything that happened, but long story short, for a very long time, I have taken pride, and I'm probably going to be speaking to a lot of the women in the house right now. For a lot of my life, I have taken pride in being a independent person. I love the idea that I don't, quote unquote, need nobody. See, I'm not about to need no man. I don't think I need anybody. I don't care if it's a man, woman, child, parent. I don't care. My claim to fame and my sense of pride is that I don't need nobody. What I didn't realize in that thought process was that that's just a trauma response to something else. Here I am thinking, well, no, it just means that I want to be autonomous. I just want to be on my own. That's not what it was. That's not what it was. And we're going to get there. We're going to uncover that. And we're going to figure out what that is. And the parts of that journey, I may share some of that with y'all and I may not. I don't know. But I'm here to tell you now, all this independent lady stuff, it's not real. It is not real. Okay. And I did not want to believe that until somebody shed some light in my face. Okay. Somebody shined a big old light and I'm still recovering. Hello, DJ Serve One. I have not seen you before. If you're still here, welcome, welcome, welcome. They're on a, yeah, they're, I'm telling you. And, honestly, Goddess Athena is doing her thing as well. I mean, she is definitely somebody I could say I have observed that absolutely actually takes chances. So that's something that a lot of women in particular will not do because society is kind of laid out who we're supposed to be, whether that's the strong Black woman, the submissive white girl. Yes, I'm going to go there tonight. Whatever it is, a lot of us have accepted those roles that society has given to us. And for whatever reason, we don't really want to, what should I say? I feel like this is more for the Black women, if anything. I feel like the image that we've been given, we need to go ahead and fine tune it and tailor it a little bit, because I don't think that the image that we have been handed is conducive to our success and our overall happiness, our health, or anything in life. I think that there is a concerted effort right now to keep the Black woman single. I think that there is, okay, let's play a game. When I say boss bitch, yeah, it's after 10, right? When I say boss bitch, and I need crowd participation, when I say boss bitch, what color do you think that boss is? What color do you think she is? What color is the boss bitch? Anybody? Don't be, we're not like that here. You can speak your mind here. So I'm going to say that. I'm not going to say it again because I want to keep this monetized. But when I say that phrase, boss, bitch, who do you think of? Does she look like me? Or does she look like, never mind. I was about to say somebody's name. When I say boss babe, what do you think she looks like? Right? So these are little tiny psychological games that get played on us. And I know I'm talking to somebody right now, and hopefully there's going to be some young girl that's going to see this later on. But I was thinking about that on the way over here because I became submissive to this process. I am not a boss bitch. However, when I say that word, you think of somebody that looks more like me versus somebody that looks maybe the same color as this wall behind me. And that's a problem because a lot of us feel like we have to embody that, which is another thing that I got kind of corrected on this weekend, right? I'm not trying to be a boss bitch. I'm not. I'm not even trying to be a boss babe. Okay? This whole business thing, let's be clear. This is about survival. This is about submitting to the fact I am out here fucking single across the country from everything that I know. Now, these are choices that I made because I'm submissive to this process of accepting things that I have decided to do and the repercussions of them. Have you done that? Is really the point of this live stream. So I don't want to be a boss bee. The reason that I have this business, yes, I want to help people. Absolutely. Because I know what it's like to not even be able to get something as simple as an apartment. I know what that shit feels like. Okay. I also know what it's like to stay in a relationship because you can't afford to be by yourself. I know what that feels like too. So I want to help people because I want you to get some semblance of autonomy in your life. I want you to have that. And for a lot of y'all, it's going to be through credit because you're going to be able to get houses and cars and start businesses and all kinds of stuff with that. But there's this other side to it that none of these boss bitches want to tell you about. And that's that it's frustrating sometimes to recognize that you're doing it all by yourself. To know that if you stop, if you don't have your automation and stuff going on, or if you have such a big ego that you can't let things go, it's frustrating to do everything yourself, right? Because if you don't submit to the idea that you have to employ other people or have help, or, this is not just you against the world, until you submit to the idea that it's not you against the world, you're going to keep hitting that wall, just like our girl Black Chyna did. Okay. I've definitely hit a wall. Now, again, that's only for y'all that's going to pay extra to talk to me. Okay. But I'm going to tell you, there's a side to this boss thing and this business thing that these people, men and women, there's a side to it that they're not showing you. Okay. Can we be honest about this right now? Just like you CEOs or women that are high up in the food chain at their job. Listen, I've worked with women that are in high positions. I could see it in their eyes because y'all, the eyes don't lie. Have you ever took a good look at Will Smith? I know it sounds like I'm pivoting, but I'm not. If you look at Will Smith, he be looking happy as hell, like with the smile and stuff. But if you really look at his eyes, that brother's eyes be crying, bro. Like, really look at a picture of him. Because I saw one of him today on the internet and I was like, ooh, his soul is gone, bro. He is hurting. But anyway, so when we talk about the submission, that is more or less what I'm getting at. So I think, again, our girl Chyna, she's learning how to submit right now, but there's some more to that. So we're going to talk. But another point that I want to make to you guys with this, I want to be independent, because again, I want y'all to start businesses. Do not get me wrong. As a matter of fact, I think there's very few times in your life that you're going to be able to take control of the things that happen to you in your life. We want to get out of the idea and the habit of blaming other people or saying that, because we are a particular color, that's why things are happening to us. That could be true. I'm not here to say that it's not. But so what? Because you have to remember the only reason you think that this matters is because, back to my original point, you're trying to fit into a system that wasn't made for you anyway. So what do? You have to go back to the drawing board and you have to figure out how to either assimilate and fit into it, or you have to figure out how to get parts of that playbook and bring it back to your home base and start to build your own thing. I hope I'm making sense tonight. Let me get back in these comments. Oh man. Oh wait, what did you say here? A business coach will make all the difference. I have a mentor who has been girl, we need to talk. Like you and me need to talk for real. And this is another point I'm trying to make. Like just because I'm doing this thing over here doesn't mean that I can't talk to somebody else and say, hey, who's your coach? Who's your this? Who's your that? You know, because that's another thing these business owners online ain't telling y'all. They're not telling you that when they say you can make $1 million with Chat GPT, the part of that game they're not telling you, number one, I think it was Glendon Cameron. I was watching one of his lives today. The point that he made was all the people telling you that you can make $1 million off of Chat GPT, ain't a damn one of them doing it. They just selling you a dream. They're selling to your psychology. That's it. That's it. The part about business, a lot of these people will never tell you. Some do, and I appreciate them. And we follow, some of us all follow the same people in here. These people go to masterminds that cost $30,000 a year. They go to masterminds that cost money, where they learn how to, like, they learn essentially how to dip into your psychology and sell something back to you. That's the part of business that's like the broken, like that's the break that y'all are not seeing. Like that's the piece that's missing. That's why when you start the business, it's hard to keep it going and stuff like that, because those people are not telling you. They are consistently being coached. And you know why they're being coached? Because they understand they have to be submissive. They have to be submissive to the process. Okay. That's it. Hey, Brandon Hicks. I haven't seen you in so long. Okay. Been trying to press on, but this week I hit the wall. Girl. And that's what I'm saying. This is a safe place, because I understand, to me, the wall has nothing to do with whether or not I can attract a man. Y'all, anything with a hole can attract a man. So let's not go there when it comes to the wall. This wall is something deeper. This wall is something that is you're going to continuously run into it for the rest of your life, in every area of your life, if you do not internalize this message of submission tonight. There are so many women that are with that program, and then there's some that aren't. And you could tell who's with it and who's not based on their results. Again, I know my girl Shelly is here, but I'm sorry, y'all. Chyna hit a wall. She did, because she wasn't submissive to the whole process. She wasn't submissive to the process of learning. She wasn't submissive to the process of letting go of her old beliefs and ideas and ideologies. She wasn't submissive to the idea that, baby, who you've been from the age 18 up until 20 or whatever, when you got really big in this industry, the person you were in that part of your life cannot be the same person that you're going to be for this next phase, baby. Sorry. This person that, and that's for all of us. Think about it. Okay. You have a job, right? The person you are in your job is nothing like the person that you have to be when you start a business. Nothing like that. You really think your day is going to consist of, I get up at 6, I go and log into my computer at 8:30, I do some appointments, and then I get off at 5 o'clock? You really think that's about to be your life as a business owner? Do you really think that? No. So I'm saying you gotta be a different person. And y'all, a question. I'm sorry. Is my audio like I'm talking through the microphone, or does it sound like weird? Somebody just let me know. I'm gonna keep talking, but let me know if it sounds crisp and clear, or if I sound weird, because y'all be letting me talk sometimes and the audio be jacked, okay? And y'all don't say nothing. Just be listening. So the person you are today cannot be the person you go into this next phase with. And that's another thing that I got smacked with this weekend as well, you know, because I think I'm so smart in so many areas. Y'all, if you stay in your mind and you don't consult other people about your thought processes, you are in an echo chamber. Okay, I understand you think you're so smart, and some of y'all are. That's the thing. We are smart. But the point is, we need other people. Okay. So even when it comes to something simple like, I don't know, losing weight, right? A lot of people are under the impression that they'll just have to go to the gym, do this, whatever. But a lot of people never even address the mental difficulties that they have that may have caused them to get overweight in the first place. I notice for myself, when I get stressed, I eat so much. Oh my God, y'all, because it's very clear I'm not a skinny girl. You know what I'm saying? I remember losing a whole bunch of weight one time in my life, and it was really just because the conditions were correct. The conditions were just right. It was during quarantine and all that stuff, right? But once that was all over, discipline went out the window. It was like, okay, I'm just going to go back to what I was doing. Because I think during that time, maybe there was stress or something like that, but I channeled it into a different area. What I didn't address is what caused me to have those issues in the first place. And I'll be candid with you guys. I guess without saying too much, I'm going to say a lot, but not a lot. I used to have an interesting habit where I used to like to partake in some things. And once I stopped doing that, I noticed that, yeah, it was cool that I stopped doing this one thing. You know, I was doing a little every now and then. Once I stopped doing that, that same pathology just moved over to something else. That's when I started eating a lot. So that could tell you right then and there, there's something else going on. You know, and it's like you got to learn to start connecting the dots with your own pathologies and your own issues. Because just because you stop one thing, you have to kind of look at why you were doing that thing in the first place before you pivot to the next thing, because you're still going to end up hitting that wall at some point. They actually say that a lot of people that have like the weight loss surgery and stuff like that, because like I've known a couple of people that got it, and then I know my mom knew a lot of people. The main thing that happened with those people was that they had an issue where, because they didn't address their psychology, a lot of times they would still see things and still conduct themselves like they did before they got the surgery. So they would get sick or they would gain weight. There's actually a percentage of people that gain the weight back because they never addressed the issue, the real issue. It wasn't necessarily the weight. The issue is what brought on the weight, right? I hope I'm making sense here. Anyway, let me keep going. I see I got a super chat. Hey, Alonso, thank you for stopping by. Thank you, girl. You are now the official show sponsor. So thank you so much, Mentor Shelly. Okay, and you're saying the pivot to ownership also requires the ultimate mindset shift. Yes, girl. And I'm going to tell you, like, again, back to this employee thing. There is no way that you're going to go from having this structured lifestyle where someone else dictates your schedule, someone else is paying your bills, someone else is allotting you vacation time, they're paying for your medical. A lot of y'all probably aren't even going to get a retirement, but you have this big old structure. So you have all this stuff, right? That your boss, your job, whatever is creating for you. But then when you shift to being your own boss, so to speak, you know, are you really equipped to do all those things yourself? Are you? Are you really? You know, do you have a budget? Have you set aside your money for taxes? Because, see, your employer already does that. All you do is take a damn W-2 to a tax professional, right? But doing business taxes is a whole different ball game, right? Because, like I said, it's two different things. You're going from having somebody just do that to you and like do all that stuff for you. All you got to do is show up. You're going from that to having to structure everything else yourself. And if you don't want to structure it yourself, you have to pay somebody else to do it. And then you also have to pray that that person knows what they're doing and that they're going to be legit in the process and that you're not going to end up with a tax bill or end up going to jail because they messed up your stuff, right? So the point again, you cannot be the same person if you pivot from employee to entrepreneur. If you pivot from girlfriend to wife, you can't go in as the same person. It's not going to work. I understand you think in your head that that's what it is. That's not what it is. Okay. There's a reason each one of those has a different title. There's a reason being single is different than being a girlfriend, and being a girlfriend is different than being a wife. You have to be a different person in each one of those stages, right? I know I'm making sense here. I know I'm making sense. But a lot of times, because we're in the echo chamber of our mind, of our social circles, of people that are just like us, nobody's there to even inject a difference of opinion or like disturb your thought process. Nobody's there to disturb it because everybody's pumping you up, telling you, yeah, girl, you right, you right. You know, like, nah, girl, you ain't got to cook. Between you and me, I don't think men even care if you cook, if I'm being real. But the point of the matter is, if you're going to get married and have kids, well, you probably need to learn how to fucking cook. Okay? That's not submission in the way y'all are thinking. That's just I need a life skill. Okay? It's okay to learn how to cook if you're going to plan to get married. It's okay. It's okay, you know? So I'm just saying like we got to let go of this word. We got to let go of the negative connotations with the word submission because I honestly think that a lot of us will do a lot better if we could submit to certain processes and stop trying to buck the system. Bucking the system is painful. Bucking the system will cause you to again hit a wall. You'll hit the wall and nobody will be able to help you because your only network is people just like you. You have to submit to the idea that you have to network outside of people that look like you. You have to submit to the idea that somebody that is going to get you to the next stage of your business might not look like you. I told you guys, I think during the last live stream, if I had not been friends with this one specific person at this business club that I was at, I would have literally been going in there every single night thinking that the whole point of being in that business club was to go in, drink a martini, and chat everybody up. It wasn't until this person said to me, hey, no, 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 no. That's not what this club is for. I understand it's tempting, but you need to listen to me, Victoria. You need to come in at this time, and this time if you want to do business. He literally asked me, are you here to play or are you here to make money? Because if you're here to make money, the time to come to this place is not after 6 p.m. because everybody else is done making their money and they just want to play. Okay. And I told y'all, the person that gave me that game was not Black. You know what the Black people were doing? They were drinking with me. So anyway, I'm just saying be open. Be open to the idea that you don't know everything and that some people know more than you do. And be willing to listen. Be willing to listen objectively. And don't forget, guys, if you have anything you want to chime in on with this, if you have an experience with it, I left the link in the chat there if you guys want to come on and give me your 2 cents. Because I really want to know if any of you have ever had to pivot in your life and what it was like for you. Like, what was your experience when you finally submitted to the process that, good God, I don't know everything. You know, I don't know everything. Because think about it. If you were at the point in your life that you knew everything and there was nothing new that you could learn under the sun, why are you still here? Like, I'm not saying like, unalive yourself or anything, but it's like if you're really at the tip top of your intelligence and nothing else can get in and you know everything you need to know about life, why are you here? What else is there to do? Right? Is your quality of life even there? Like, come on. And I think once we all take on that idea of submission, I think we're gonna be a lot better, a lot better for it. So that's really the point of what I'm trying to say tonight. Hey, selfish love, so glad you came by. All right. Hey, because look, a lot of people came over here. I'm not even gonna say a lot. It ain't like it's a whole bunch of people up in here, but I think a lot of times it's kind of sad because we have to play on again the psychology of people wanting mess, and then there's only going to be a few that will tune in and they'll say, "Oh, I came for some bull crap, but oh God, I'm actually getting some game." And sad to say, a lot of content creators have to do that to y'all. They literally got to talk mess and then drop the knowledge in there. It's kind of like, you know, when you when you're trying to give medicine to your dog and you got to put the pill inside the little treat and like try to shove it down its throat. That's what a lot of us have to do. Just like what's her name said. Never really thought about this quote, but y'all, have you ever actually thought about what a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down? Mary Poppins, have you ever really thought about what that means? It literally means I have to give you a spoonful of sugar for you to take the pill that I actually need you to get to make you better, to make you well, to heal you. I have to give you a spoonful of sugar. I got to give you something that's going to probably end up, I ain't gonna say killing you, but it's something that you don't need in order for me to give you something that you actually will benefit from. A spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. I'm telling you, once you get a little older, you start hearing things again and you're like, that's what that meant. So y'all, they've been giving us games since we were little kids. We just chose not to listen. Anyway, nothing wrong with being sovereign, but the game of life is it absolutely is a team sport. There's nothing in this life you will be able to do by yourself. Well, there's some things I could think of, but they're really not. They don't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. You will never be able to make money by yourself. Even the term passive income annoys me so much because passive income is not passive. Even the term, it gives you the idea that you're going to be making this money by yourself. Good luck with that. Passive income almost makes you feel like you're just going to sit on your butt and the money's going to come in. No, it's not. There's a reason your favorite YouTubers get on once, twice, 5 times a week. That's not passive. That's actively having to make their income. But because they gave you the spoonful of sugar, you don't realize that that's what's happening. How about that? We show up for work just like y'all do. Trust me. Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at too, though. I learned that exact lesson. And that's kind of what I was talking about with Goddess Athena a minute ago. Because like I said, in my head, I thought it was very wise to do everything myself. But here's something that'll kind of blow your mind a little bit. We know sometimes what the right thing is to do, but we still choose not to do it. Like when I first started my business, 50% or more of what I was doing was actually automated. When it was automated, I made more money more easily. But for whatever reason, something kind of overtook me and made me think, oh, I could do this all by myself. Why am I going to pay this person? Why am I going to give them a cut of what I'm doing when I could be making the money myself? Submission. Because once I took it on all by myself, I barely sleep, y'all. I barely sleep. And that's not good because you know what happens when you don't sleep? You become exhausted. And when you become exhausted, your body shuts down. So again, that's the side of the boss bitch thing that nobody's telling you about. That's the side that nobody wants to talk about because that's not the glamorous part. It's already hard enough for you, and I'm gonna be real, like it's already hard enough for a lot of us, y'all, anybody to be who we are and walk into a job every day, right? And we can't really even admit that's bothering us. But think about having your own thing and realizing that you're really not doing it the right way and that you need to pivot. That's a lot for somebody to accept. It's a lot. So I feel what you're saying. I really feel what you're saying because it wasn't until this last month where I was like, oh my God, I'm working too much. I'm over here taking pride in the fact that I'll work till 3 a.m. Why am I taking pride in that? What the hell? I bet you the boss babe isn't taking pride in that, but the boss bitch is. Like, no. So those days are over. It's like, you guys are lucky I even came on here tonight, you know? And I ain't said nothing up in my outline yet. So I know the spirit is moving through me tonight 100% because, wow, you know? Exactly. That's what you think when you think of the boss bee. You never think of a blonde hair, blue eye, but honestly, a lot of them be the main boss bitches though. Sorry to say. Let's see. Yeah, the system is definitely not for some. And I think the sooner we can all accept that, the better off we're going to be. Because I think, like, if you're trying to go into a particular system, and it could be any system, y'all, it doesn't have to be just the workforce. If you try to go into a community where you're the only one that looks like you that lives there, you have to understand that there are going to be some systems and pathologies that are going on in that community that you are not going to understand. And it's basically, it's not because they want to oust you or anything like that. It's just because their system was built for them. Like, there's a part of an area in LA. There's a few little pockets in LA where you have a predominantly, I don't know if they're Ashkenazi Jewish people, um, Hasidic. I'm sorry, they're Hasidic Jewish people. So there's a Hasidic Jewish population, like in certain parts of LA. When you drive and walk through those areas, you know you don't belong. Now, it's not that you don't belong in the sense that, oh, they hate me because I'm black. They hate me because I'm Hispanic. They hate me because I'm Caucasian. No, they don't hate you, and they're not shutting you out because of that. They're shutting you out because they want to maintain exclusivity. It has nothing to do with just we don't like your kind. That's not what it is. What it is that we value what we have so much, we will not accept outsiders. So you see what I'm saying? When we talk about submission, you got to submit to different ideas. You have to submit to seeing things for what they really are instead of what society has told you they are. Again, so I know I'm losing some people. That's why it's like, hey, this talk ain't for everybody. That's for sure. The mindset shift is the hardest thing. Girl, no, he ain't there. Like, okay, I'm gonna find a picture of him because it was a picture I saw of him, and I was like, oh my lord, that man is whew, he looking hurt. Where was it? Let me see if I can find it. I might have actually closed it out. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Okay. And this actually kind of goes into the pivot part. I was going to talk about this a little bit later, but since it's here, I'm going to show you guys a picture of Will Smith and really tell me that this man's eyes look happy. I'm gonna just show you this because I know some of y'all be coming for mess, so I'm gonna give you some mess. Let me see. How do I show this to y'all? Okay. Yeah. Go on and lie to me and tell me that man look happy. He's smiling. He's smiling. Let me let you see the whole, like, really. So I'm saying you can find out a lot by looking at somebody's eyes. Those eyes do not look happy. And I don't know if y'all can see very clearly, but hell, I can. He looks miserable there. Okay. So a lot of us, again, we are putting out these public personas, but behind closed doors, we're falling apart. And the big reason is that we do not submit to processes. That's it. That's it. You know? Let me see. That's true but yes, if you put in, okay, because I tried this. If you put in a prompt in Chat GPT and you ask it to write something as a boss babe, the tone of the content does not sound like it would come from somebody that looks like me. Okay. But if I say put in something hip, a hip female, a hip urban entrepreneurial female, it literally sounds like she looks like me. you know? So these are little things that instead of getting upset about them, I just recognize them for what they are. Right. And I think I was talking with you, Goddess Athena. I'm not going to say like how I came to that conclusion, but there is a practice that, we know exists, and it helps you to see things. It helps you to see symbols more than anything, right? To where you're like, oh, I'm not supposed to be upset about that. That's just some whatever. I know what that is, and it helps you to kind of see things for what they really are instead of what's at face value. That's another reason I was going in so hard at Black China, because I'm like, y'all, I understand that, yes, this could be a genuine change, but there's also something symbolic about what's happening. And it's more about you than it is about her. So I'll see if I have time to get onto that. So yeah, like you said, he's not, that brother don't look happy at all. He looks like he is struggling inside. Okay. Yeah. And see, men know other men, right? Men know other men. Just like you could look at a woman sometimes and she'll look so happy, so happy. But if you catch her in one, like, because it's very hard to always maintain like an upbeat, like, yeah, everything's great. Yeah. Look at somebody long enough, you're gonna see that it's like a split millisecond kind of thing. When that drop in energy happens, you could see what's really going on with that person. Now, see, I'm very observant, so I could see those things. But that's part of me always being in my head, right? That's part of me being in my head. I get to observe things a lot more, right? So you could come on and be happy go lucky, smile in my face all day. But I could look at you for 5 minutes and tell something's going on. And it's not because you're weird or that I'm better or you're worse because you're going through something. No, what it means is it confirms for me that we all are going through something in some area of our life. For you, it might be your job. For your friend, it might be their marriage. For your aunt, it might be her income, right? But we're all going through something, and we cannot hide it as well as we think we can. A big reason that I became a consultant with debt and credit is because I know some of y'all be struggling. I know you do, but you still get up, you still put on your nice suit, your nice dress, you put your face on so you can face the world, right? But inside, you are crumbling. That is why I exist, because you need to understand that yes, these things happened. Yes, you might be in a financial issue, whatever, right? But it doesn't mean that you can't get out of it. Number one, it doesn't mean that you can't get out of it. What it does mean though is that you cannot be the same person on the other side of your debt and your issues and whatever it is. You don't get to be the same person on the other side. That's my requirement. You don't get to be the same person anymore, because the person you are today is why those things happened. But you finally reach that psychological break and you hit that wall to where you're like, okay, now I got to do something else. Right? That is why I feel like my clients do so well. It's because like they're done. They're like, look, I tried this thing. I tried to be this particular person. It ain't working. And again, that's happening to me too, guys. That's happening to me too. There's a lot of stuff that I thought and I had so much conviction about, not realizing that some of my thought processes just need adjustment. They need adjustment. And I need other people to come in and tell me what I'm not seeing clearly. Right. And it can come from the most unlikely of people. You say you've been trying to talk to me. Oh, and yes, this is so true. Masterminds, and they learn branding and marketing because okay, there was something that I said during that live stream on Saturday, right, Athena? Because it's like when it comes to marketing, and this is something that I'm learning, marketing is more than just, hey, this phone will, I don't know, whatever the hell phones do. Okay, I don't know. You can see I'm not a salesperson, so. Okay, so part of marketing is, again, you're not talking to the person as far as like, hey, I could give you this solution. You guys don't care about solutions. You literally care about how my solution makes you feel. That's what you really care about. You care about how you're going to feel on the other side of your credit getting fixed. You care about how you're going to feel on the other side of getting that house with 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, and your best friends come over and they look at you with envy. That's really what you want. You don't necessarily care about the score. You care about how having some of these things is going to make you feel inside. That is the truth. Okay. And that's a part of marketing that I don't necessarily like, but it's the deepest part. It's the most genuine, real part about it. And that's the part that these people that go to these classes, that's what they learn. They don't learn how to keep putting a product in your face. Anybody can do that. What they learn how to do is get in here. And then the really good ones learn how to get in here, right? And then the supremely good ones know how to go here, here, and here. I'm pointing to my gut. Don't think I'm pointing to the nether regions. The really good ones know how to get you on every level. Okay. Mind, your heart, and your gut, like your spirit. They know how to get to you. You don't even realize it's happening. Okay. But that's why they're so good. And that's why they pay so much money to do it. Right. So, no, girl, don't start talking about men. Yeah, we all need business coaches, 100%. 100%. And there's nothing wrong with that. And the interesting thing is that sometimes the coach won't even be successful in certain areas of business, but it doesn't mean they don't know what they're talking about, right? So I'm not saying go to a coach that's never done anything, but I'm saying that, there's a reason, professors in colleges aren't scientists. Is your biology teacher an actual scientist that works in a lab every day and then comes to teach your class? No, he's not. But he's somebody that, studies biology, knows the science in and out and all that good stuff. But that doesn't mean they're necessarily able to go out and execute that skill in the real world, because it's very different. That's part of why you have in college, like you have the lecture part of the course and then you have the lab part of the course, because learning about it and then actually seeing it in action and applying it are two totally different things. Am I making sense here? Like, is that making sense? It's like, there's a reason that your professor is not doing the thing that they're even teaching, Sometimes it's just easier to teach. And what is it that they say? Those who can do, those who can't teach. Okay. Again, there's a reason that some of these phrases exist, y'all. There's a reason. Everywhere you go. Yes, girl. That was the biggest takeaway that I got this Saturday. And it's so funny because I had a friend tell me that right before I came to Virginia. He was like, wherever you go, there you are. He's like, so if you're trying to run away from anything, wherever you go, there you are. And I mean, he wasn't lying, there are certain things about my mind that have not changed since I got here, but there's things that have to, because another part about submission that you guys have to understand, and I'm going to leave this up here for a minute because it's very important. And I think what she's saying is very, life-changing if you will really, really think about what she's saying. And she's also a channel member, by the way, y'all, because see, she sees value in what I do. And also, Athena ain't afraid to spend coin. I peep that, girl. I peep that. Because see, some of y'all will actually pay or support causes, and then some people will just kind of sit in the background and just look. Now, I'm not saying one is better than the other, but I be peeping. I be peeping. I noticed that about you, Athena. I like that about you. I like that about you. But yeah, she's a channel member, y'all. So once I get a few more people coming in, I think I'm going to drop a little bit more content that's more in depth, because after that conversation that I had, Athena, honestly speaking, like I started to see like, okay, the problem that I may run into as far as how I conduct business is that I want to be myself and I have to be myself. I have to. And unfortunately, with what I want to do with YouTube on the public side, I cannot be myself completely. Behind the paywall as a member, like with the membership, oh yeah, I'm gonna be myself a little bit more. I think that's the place to do it, right? And that's really just for the serious people that want to do different stuff, because like there's a lot of pivots that I'm making, and I'm becoming submissive to like a lot of processes in my life, and it's like crap, because I don't have another choice. Because like I said, again, there's walls that I'm hitting, but yes, who you are shows up in relationships, business. You cannot escape yourself. You are so right. The overthinking that I tend to do it does roll over into business. 100%, right? The idea that I want to do everything myself. Think about this. If you are an independent person, you like to do everything yourself. You don't want nobody to help you because you just take so much pride in knowing that you accomplished that thing all by yourself. Nothing wrong with that on the surface, but intrinsically, there is something wrong with that. Main reason, you don't realize how much of your energy, your time, everything is being wasted by doing everything yourself. You're wasting time. You're wasting the issue with wasting time is this. Time is a non-renewable resource. You will never get that time back. It doesn't matter how much time you spent on that project, whatever the hell it was, you're never going to get that time back. Okay. So it's better for you to say, okay, yes, I like doing everything myself, but why don't you just become the person that comes up with the ideas yourself and then delegate it to other people to execute those thoughts? Because then you have more time, more freedom to actually do other things and pivot into other areas and become more successful. So if you tend to hold on to things more than you should, or you're just hell bent on being independent and doing it all yourself, really step back and try to figure out, what is the psychology behind that for you? What are you getting out of doing everything by yourself? Like what's the payoff? Because there is some sort of payoff that you get. And I learned something about myself this weekend, that me doing things by myself is there's a reason that I feel like, I can't rely on other people to execute. That's really what it is. I can't rely on other people, or I've convinced myself that I can't rely on other people. So then the question really is, where did that start? And why do I feel that I can't depend on people, or, depend on them to come through and finish the job, or come through for me, or come through for my business, even if I pay them, right? You see how there is a psychology behind those of you that want to do everything yourself. There's lack somewhere in that. You don't see it on the surface because you're so caught up in your own head, right? Thinking, "Oh, I'm just independent." Nah. There's something more to that. Just saying. Yeah, exactly. So true. Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, I was gonna say somebody popped up. I see. Don't none of y'all want to come talk to me. Y'all shady. Just be listening to me yap. I'm gonna put the link in there again just in case. Because I actually really like, I think that some of you are people that think beyond the surface. So I think that's kind of cool. All right. Let's see. Yeah, there's a show called My Everybody be talking about My 600-Pound Life. I do not watch that show. Where the doctor of the show wouldn't allow any of the overweight patients to have weight loss. Yeah. Exactly. And it's really tough because typically, I remember I had a friend that actually got the weight loss surgery. And the interesting thing was, when she got it, the only thing that the doctor did for her was, the doctor said, okay, start drinking protein shakes, and that's it. Like, that's all they literally told her. And start taking vitamins. They told her, start taking vitamins and start drinking protein shakes. What is that going to do for her psychology? What is that going to do for her being overweight for, I think she was 37, 38 when she got the surgery. This was years ago. What is that going to do? Because what you got to remember, like, this is the one thing that I learned when I had lost weight a couple of years ago. Again, the psychology or pathology that you are following that made you overweight in the first place. Like I said, this is me speaking about me. The thing that causes me to pick up the food and eat, there's still like there's some obsession there, right? There's some not being able to address what the true issue is, right? Because when you eat the food, it's satiating you, of course, but if you overeat, you are now pivoting to what's the word I'm looking for? It's like you're trying to numb an emotion, like you're trying to stop something from happening. When you really think about it, like, and I'm only speaking from experience. When you eat and you know you're full, but you keep on going, you're not eating to be like fed anymore. Like you're not eating to do that. Like you're eating to, again, you're eating to manipulate some kind of emotion that you're having, right? So I'm like I said, that's me speaking on myself. So I thought it was kind of interesting that when it comes to that surgery, and this could just be because of the type of surgery it was, excuse me, but I'm burping like I just ate a meal. I'm fat. I'm sorry, y'all. So um I don't know why that cracked me up. Oh, we have a guest. Okay, let me finish this one thought and then I'm gonna have you come up, girl. But so yeah, it's like you're trying to push something down. And it wasn't until I realized that I was like, oh, I should probably lose weight and get therapy at the same time. Yeah, because this something ain't right here. So those are the things that I feel like we always want to have the quick fix instead of really going forward with what the true issue is. So we have a guest. Hey, girlfriend.
Hey, how's it going?
All is well. How are you? I actually was going to talk about your show tonight.
Oh, which one?
I think it was the one you did on Saturday. I was going to play a little clip from something
Okay.
that Dana said.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
But
Yeah, look,
girl,
look. I said a lot in there, and everybody kind of came on and spoke their piece. So, yeah, it, it is like past my bedtime, but I
I
had a little
know.
insomnia, and I'm like, oh, let's see what's happening on the YouTube streets, and then you like, well, I'm dropping the link, so here I am. So, yeah, the one thing I didn't get to hear, obviously, a lot of what you
Mhm,
said, but I will talk about pivoting just a little bit.
mhm,
It is extremely hard to pivot,
mhm,
extremely hard. And um, I, I think that TV and the internet makes it look easy for people.
mhm,
And I think that so few people are able to do it because of how difficult it is.
mhm,
Um, so I always admire people who can successfully pivot, who can successfully do something new, because it
mhm,
is it is a hard thing. The other thing is that they say that whatever you're trying to, like, let's say you're trying to reverse a habit,
mhm,
the longer you've had that habit, the harder it is for you to change
mhm,
course.
mhm,
So that's another big thing as well. So I I it's a little bit of giving people grace, or giving ourselves grace,
mhm.
as well as knowing whether or not we are really giving that pivot 100%. Because there are times when I have needed to pivot, but I didn't really give it 100%, and not lying to yourself,
Mhm.
during that process. So,
Do you know why you had such a hard time?
uh, at times I didn't believe in myself.
Mm,
At times I wasn't really sure what to do. So, if I'm not really sure what to do, I kind of just sit for a bit until I'm sure. But I
mhm.
know everybody is different with, like, how they handle their pivot and their process. Um, but I
Wow.
think those are the two big things, at least for me, that have happened. Either I
Mhm.
don't believe in myself, or I don't believe that somebody else is going to do what they need to do so I can do what I need to do, um, or in
I
times I've
feel
been
you.
lazy too. So I'll
There's so
admit
many
times I've been
layers.
lazy.
No, there's so many layers, and I'm so glad that you're being transparent about that. And guys, this is Cherie from Black Women Making Money on YouTube. So,
Hey.
yeah, and her channel is growing like crazy. Oh my gosh! And listen. everything you said right now, I know for a fact that there's somebody or somebodies in the chat that can totally relate to what you're saying. Because when you said the thing about not trusting other people
Mm-hmm.
to complete the task for you,
Mm-hmm.
that is something for me that I had to deal with. And that's what I was talking about a few minutes ago, where it's like, okay, yeah, if I'm paying you, okay, you're supposed to do the job, right? But there's something in me that was there that maybe I haven't addressed yet that causes me to have a lack of faith in other people, right?
Yeah.
You know, and a conclusion that I think I had come to, and this is just for me, I'm not saying that anybody else is like this, but what the conclusion that I came to was that beneath me not feeling like someone will come through for me, part of the reason I felt like that was because I felt like I wasn't worthy of that person coming through for me,
Yeah.
that they would see me as not important enough to come through for, or not valuable enough to come through for. How
Mm-hmm.
about that? So these are the things that I'm talking about, where, we think it's something else, or we think it's one thing, but it's something else, right?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And if you believe that that person isn't going to come through for you, they most likely are not going to,
Hmm.
because people feel energy and people know, you know, what and who they're going to back and do things for and who they aren't.
Hmm.
And sometimes the squeaky wheel gets the most grease as well. So if I feel like somebody's not going to do something for me and I don't bring it up every time I talk to them, or I'm not texting them to stay on them, then
Hmm.
they kind of, go by the wayside and do whatever it is that they're doing.
Yeah.
Because you haven't made it a priority. So
Hmm.
your pivot, I'm just kind of stream of consciousness here as we're talking.
Yeah.
Your pivot will not be more important to other people than it is to you. And the level of intensity that you have for your pivot will
Hmm.
determine how other people interact with it.
Got you. Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't have a sense of urgency for your pivot, nobody else will either. I guess is how I'm trying to say it.
And you're right in saying that they can sense that from you. Like, people can sense when you don't really believe in what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it does shine through, and that's why it really does pay to know who you are as a person, the reason behind why you're doing what you're doing, and all that good stuff. It's like, if what you're doing as a business, y'all, if it's a money grab, then go ahead and get that money, but don't try to make it look like it's something that it ain't, okay? Because it's gonna shine through.
That's
It's
right.
but
That's right.
and I think that's kind of why you and I were kind of side-eyeing our girl Black China, but because we can read the energy. So
Yes,
yeah.
yes. Now, what's this whole submissive thing? Because obviously, I didn't hear all of your session tonight.
Well, the main thing was, and really it was the Black China thing that kind of made me think about this. And let me
Mhm.
I'm gonna add somebody here. He hasn't really said anything yet. It's Ori. Ori, just give me 1 second. I just want to finish this thought with Cherie. Um, it's really just about being submissive to the idea. It's really about surrender. And
Uh,
I was just I was talking about how the word submissive has been kind of bastardized in certain spaces. And it's like, submission really is, it is a form of surrender. It's like, listen, if you're going into a corporate office every day, it doesn't pay to continuously try to buck a system or be the hero when that's not your place in that office. That's not your place in that organization. So stop it. That's why you may be hitting this wall, because you're going in with the playbook of your own when you probably should be using a different playbook that was already there before you got there, kind of thing. So, just taking a more objective look at your situations and why you keep hitting these walls. It's because you're not submitting to the idea of change.
I like that. I really do like that. It's I know you're gonna have Ori talk, but there have been a lot of articles and news stories and studies and things like that about people not wanting to go back into the office.
Mm,
And
yep.
when And when I really started ramping up my channel, I suggested to the ladies, you all, if you want to get ahead in your career, now is the time to go back into the office when everybody else doesn't want to. You
Girl.
know, so when you talk about being submissive, it doesn't mean that you let people run over you. And I think
Right.
that that's where the caveat is. And of course, I know you don't mean that, but you always
Of
got to put the
course.
caveat in. It doesn't mean you let people run over you or mistreat you or things like that. But
Hmm.
it does mean that you present yourself in a way that when opportunity arises, you're the natural person that they want to elevate.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
yeah, and there's nothing wrong with being submissive to a systems. Some of these corporations, a lot of these corporations make multi-billion dollars a year because they have a system that
Hmm.
works. And they've probably tested your system and they know it doesn't work. you know? So
Well, yes, it's that. And okay, let me make this point, then I'll have Ori come up
Mhm.
too.
Yes.
Okay, so about that submission thing, the point that I was also making about with our girl China here is that she hit a wall, and the main reason she hit the wall was because she was using a specific playbook, and you and I and Shelly talked about that. When you're using a playbook that's not designed for the arena that you're going into, it's ineffective. It's like it's not going to do anything for you, because the playbook and the plays that are written out in that playbook, they're not related to the place you're going at all. And this playbook that you've been using has gotten you to this point, sure, but you have to adopt an entirely different method for the next stage of your life, or the next, or that pivot. You know what I mean? It's like you can't use the same solutions for these new problems that are going to be coming up. You know, that was really my point here. It's like she just didn't understand. Like, she's using the wrong playbook for the wrong game. It's like, girl, what is you doing? Oh, we got a lot of folk coming on. Okay, let me let Ori say anything. Did you want to stay on, or do you have any last words, Cherie?
No, I can go if you have more people than space. That's fine.
Let me see if I can. I think everything's good. Ori, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Hey, thank you so much for participating.
Yeah, I just want to putting my little 2 cents in.
For
Just allow me a
sure.
little bit. But yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying when it comes to the pivot. Because like for me, I didn't have to pivot once. I had to pivot like several times within this last year,
Hmm.
just because it's like I was given like a certain amount of information, but like that information was like incomplete, and so I was just going about things like a certain way, which wasn't like the correct way, and so it's like what I really like had to do at the end was just totally like just basically just switch fields at this point. And like the field that like I'm trying to get into is like already got someone who like already like see that they have a process that they're following.
Hmm.
And it's like they know how to like teach it, and like fortunately enough, like they're able to like teach me how to go about doing these things. And so like, mentorship is like probably like the one of the best ways to like get yourself to like when you're pivoting, in order to just be able to understand like how to like make your next moves without you wasting the several years you're trying to figure out like the best way to do things.
Hmm. Yeah. So did it take you a long time to come to that conclusion? And was it hard for you to come to accept that you had to pivot or try something different with the gameplay that you were, you know?
See, for me, it didn't take me a long time
Hmm.
to like know like to pivot because like for me, just to give a little background, I was in like the corporate environment,
Hmm.
and because it was like my first time there, I didn't really like know how to conduct myself. So it
Hmm.
wasn't like anything egregious like I did, but it's like I did something and ended up making myself lose that job.
Oh,
And
wow.
so yeah, so I was like, I it's been it just took me like a good like week after like soaking all that. Then I was like, all right, I gotta like switch up. So I got a degree in human systems engineering, which is basically human computer interactions at like most other universities. And so with that degree is like one job I could become is like a UX researcher. Now I didn't particularly like, want to be a UX researcher. Like what I wanted to become was a UX designer. But I was like, you know what, let me just go ahead and get into UX research, work as a UX researcher, and then go ahead and become a UX designer. However, it's like I needed like a lot more than like portfolio just to get to like UX research. And for me, it's like I was just always under the impression like, oh, I just need like a portfolio, I got the degree, and like I'll be straight. But it's like, no, I need like some more things. And it's like I was like talking to like all these other people, and like they're saying like, oh, no, everything's fine, everything's fine. You just gotta keep on applying, keep on applying. Hundreds of jobs later, only had like one interview. And so like at that point, yeah. So like at that point, I was like, all right, I just need to go switch to something that can just give me money instantly. So I'm not like trying to get into the IT field. But it's like before like I like made that decision, it's like I want to like first off see, all right, what is it that I'm trying to do? And then I need to find someone who's doing exactly what I'm trying to do and see if they have a process which I can follow. And then that's how I pivoted, because the mistake I made before is that I thought that I knew what I was doing, but I didn't. And so I was like, all right, this time I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm just going to just find this person, follow their blueprint, and then just keep on going.
I love that you were saying that, because it sounds like two things happen. Number one, you recognize that you don't know every darn thing. That's the first thing, right? The second part is that you kind of understand, from what I hear, you might have come to the conclusion that it's a lot easier sometimes to just go with the playbook instead of trying to make the damn playbook yourself. How about that? Because you save so much of you could probably sleep better at night once you just decided, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and just go with this program over here, and because they already laid it out for you. So why are you trying to buck the system for what?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
That is so cool. And I'm happy that you're saying that. And I think people need to hear those things. Do you feel that your professional life has become more like it's running a little more smoothly because you did that?
Yeah, it's like it's starting to run smoother, especially like now that I moved back home. Because
Okay.
like because like where I was moved out to was in a totally different cities. Like I didn't know anything about it other than the fact that like my dad used to live there. But other than that, I knew nothing about the city. So I was just like spending like almost a year running around, just like, door dashing and stuff like that, just to try to just get myself, and like applying to jobs, just get myself into like a more stable position. But it's like at a point I was just like, you know what, I need stability in my life. So it's like I'd rather just like, already have like a process, like career wise, that I just need to follow. And now I just really just need stability. Because like it was really back September that I really like started like on this path towards like IT. And I was having a hard time trying to like actually like implement what my mentor was teaching me, because I was spending like a good chunk of my time just pretty much just door dashing, just get all the money that I need, just like pay rent and like food and stuff like that. And then that drained me. And because that drained me, I couldn't even study like effectively in order to like do the things I need to do. And so like after all this,
Man.
it's like I was like, I just need to just go back home where it's like I need to pay rent or worry about food or anything like that. So now I just focus on just studying.
I mean, listen, and that sounds like you developed a plan, and it's like, okay, I'm like, hopefully, you're not just going home just to stay. It's like, no, you're going home with a purpose, and you also realize that you were burning yourself out. And I'll be honest with you, and Athena, I'll have you speak in a second because she witnessed the whole thing. Look, she
Yeah.
witnessed my complete
Yeah, I'm curious. Like, what happened? Like, it sounded like you had like a whole consequences moment.
It was that. And I think, well, what you said when you just talked about DoorDash and all that, that resonated with me, because we have all gone through something like that, just in different areas, right? So, and listen, y'all, even Black China said that in one of her articles. She said she couldn't strip and go to college at the same time because the stripping made her tired in school. She was burned out. She chose stripping instead, but whatever. But for me, that's kind of where I've been approaching, where it's like, not I'm not going to strip y'all, but what I'm saying, I've been approaching exhaustion, because it's like when you do everything yourself, you don't realize how much it takes out of you, right? And when you try to go full force like that, burn the midnight oil, do all this crazy stuff, in your head you think it makes a lot of sense, but you realize you're not really accomplishing the goal, because by the time you get to enjoy anything, you're going to be burned out. So how effective are you really even going to be at that point, you know? So so that resonated with me when you talked about the burnout, because I think for us too, I'll just say it, guys, like honestly, for us as young Black people, men and women, like we're taught from a very young age that we have to work extra hard. Nobody really prepares us for the day that we're going to burn out. There's no recovery plan for us. I don't know about you guys, but I never was told that, what to do once I burned out. I was never told. No,
I never
you
got
know,
information either.
yeah, we're taught to just keep going and going because, life is rough. Life is hard. Everybody, you're going to have to fight twice as hard. Just imagine being told that, what it does to your psyche. So we're being told to work extra hard, but there's no reprieve. There's what do we get? Where is our soft place to fall when we get exhausted? Are we allowed to get exhausted? These are all real questions. And I didn't come to these, like, I didn't even think about this stuff until very recently. It's so I feel you, Ori, like, wow, but you, I think, are making the right choice in going back home. And I think that there's no, to me, that's a reason to go home, if I could really be honest, because I think that you're going to be better once you leave. You came back to improve yourself because you recognized you were going to hit a wall. Right?
Yeah.
I know I'm all saying this. Is that really like how you feel though? Like, is that kind of what happened?
That's pretty much like how I was feeling. Cause like, because I was about to do like something extreme. Like, had I decided like not to like go home, but because like,
I'm like, what, you was gonna become a hitman, a drug dealer? What were you gonna do?
No, shoot, man. I'm about to be one of the van lifers. Like, I was just about to just like live in my car and just do nothing but DoorDash and study. That was like literally like my life, because I'm planning on doing just like go down to Houston because I have a lot of family down there. So that's why I wanted to do it. But my parents not my parents, really like my mom, she kind of like helped me out a little bit. I didn't even tell her this, but she helped me out a little bit, helped me find a friend, a family friend who was staying in Dallas. So I was like staying with that person for a little bit. But then there was like some changing like her living situation. So I had to like move out and stay with another relative. And then it's like had like issues with my car. So I had to like drive all the way back from like Dallas to Virginia.
And that's where I'm at. I'm in Virginia now. It's so boring here. My head's gonna explode.
There's literally nothing to do except die.
You know what? I'm done with you. I'm gonna click off. Forget you. Y'all let him up on the platform. He said, "Ain't nothing to do in your town, lady, but just die."
I'm just honest, like. But look, I got a plan. I ain't
hey, you ain't lying though. You ain't lying. Honestly, this place is nowhere for a single person. It really isn't. It's not. And I'll be real about that.
Like, unless you live in like Northern Virginia, it's like, yeah, I can understand, but I don't live there.
No, I'm in Central, and it's honestly, if I'll be honest with you guys, like if I were like married and really had had a network here, this is the perfect place. Like, this is fantastic. But to be, kind of wanting to be a mover and a shaker and all that kind of stuff, it's like, no, this is not the place for that. So, I think for a person that's a little different, more, I don't know how to describe it, but I think if you're looking for more action, this is not the place. It just isn't, but it does fit a particular lifestyle. I will say that. It's just, I'm not at that point right now.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but
No, that's
sometimes you don't know until you try it, and it's like, oh, I learned. It's like, okay, well, won't do that again.
yeah.
you know but I love that you shared your story, and to me it makes so much sense, and it sounds like you're recognizing that you don't have all the answers, and that thank God you have a support system that you can actually fall back on. I think that that's very important for a lot of us, and sometimes we have a support system and don't even realize it because we don't speak up and say that we're drowning, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. Well, you can stay up if you want to. I'm going to let Athena get her info in. Do you have actually, or Ori, before I let Athena speak, is there any advice that you have for the audience? Because obviously, I'm sure somebody's going to watch this in the replay too. Like, is there any advice you have for people for when they hit that wall?
Yeah. My one advice I do have is that when you hit that wall, you need to realize, I guess, like, ask yourself 3 questions. Who are you? What do you want? And why do you want it? Like, and I'm just talking about life in general. And so, like, those 3 questions are, like, pretty much like the most important questions you will ever, like, ask about yourself. Because all that
I
will literally just, like, shape how you want to go about, like, going through life. And,
You
like,
have no idea how deep that actually was. Can you say that one more time? What are those 3 questions?
who are you? What do you want out of life? And why do you want it?
Wow. Whew, that one hit me. That one hit me.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh man, that's a good one. Ori, all right, you going out guns blazing, I see. Okay, all
We
right.
have to
I hope
knock on that. All right,
I hope
y'all have a good night.
all right, you too, Ori. Thank you for coming up. All right, Athena. I think you can unmute yourself. There you
Girl,
go. Hey girl.
girl, listen. I was trying to go to bed. And I was like, you know what? I can't go to bed. Let me see what's going on. I might actually cam up. We'll see.
You see, I got my face on today, girl. They ain't gonna catch me slipping
I ain't got no
again.
face on because I'm about to go to bed. So you about to get it fresh face if I can log. But my face is gorgeous, so it's fine.
That's what I was gonna say. Honestly, look, because that's what I was saying during that live that day. I was like, look, half of these, never mind, I can't speak how I want to speak, but it's like half of these people won't even ain't nobody gonna cam up with it without no makeup on. I done did it all now. Come on.
Listen, I went to the bank. I had to open up a new business account. I went to the bank, fresh face, thinking I was just like, I'm just gonna get this done. And the banker was still trying to hustle. So I was like, you know what? What's the point? What's the point? I was like, listen. Actually, I'm gonna log in. I have my camera set up, so
okay.
I'm gonna log in. Hold on a second.
And for those of you just dropping in, be sure to like the stream and share. We're just talking about pivoting tonight, and interestingly enough, like you guys, I'm loving the people that have come up and talked to me and participated so far. We're just talking about, have you hit a wall in your life and you need to pivot, or you need to just change some things? Like, if you have, share it with us because we want to know, right? So,
hi.
Hey, girl.
Let me take my volume.
I think this is the first time I've seen you like that.
I
ma'am.
know.
Oh my God.
No
Look at you.
Hold on, let me back up.
Whoa. You done touched my little heart. Oh my God.
I touched your heart.
How are you?
I did skincare, everything. I was in the bed, girl, but
oh my God.
you rose me
Athena.
up. You rose me up.
Listen, look, okay. So we're obviously not going to talk about everything that happened on Saturday as far as my full-on metamorphosis, but I did watch it back, and it was like it's so interesting to see yourself and be talking about your own crap out loud like that. And then, you have people commenting, you're trying to really get your thoughts together and you're doing all this stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just talk. I don't care. It is what it is,
Yeah.
So anyway, girl. So are you in the process of a pivot or what's up? What do you have to say for our folks here?
One thing I want to say though, because what happened with that live, I had that playing on in the background while I was working, and I'll go in and out. Usually what you did is what usually happens in the catacombs.
I had a feeling.
That's usually
I had a feeling.
Because she has gathered me together on several occasions, but it's perfect. It's perfect because then you can stop wasting time and do.
You know what? Hold on. Before I continue, let me give them some context because we're not going to stay on this topic for a long time, you guys. But what Athena's talking about is that I came onto a particular platform with an entire agenda of my own, thinking I was just going to drop some information and leave. That's what I thought it was going to be. I was trying to go right back into the shadows. I should probably say who it is because people be like, she said we don't shout her out. It's Selfish Ray, guys.
That. I was like,
yeah, no, it's fine because if you're gonna have to pay to see what the hell I went through. So listen, look, but but her name is Selfish Ray, and I've shouted her out on this channel before, and I would say honestly, her platform falls in line with the submissive issue that is at hand right now because, like I said, we can use these words interchangeably: submission or surrender, whatever you want to call it. The point is, with her particular platform, is called the Ugly Girls Club. Now, on the surface, you're going to say, oh, it's that ugly. Oh, why would you call yourself that? Listen, it's a whole ideology behind it. Y'all would relate to it way more than you even care to admit. I'm positive of that. So anyway, check her out on YouTube to get the whole thing. It'll blow your mind. But anyway, we were on this platform together. And like I said, I had one idea, but because I'm going to just guess maybe the spirit was there or something, I literally got read. I got read, y'all. She read me. And I was like, how dare you force me to tell the truth? And she didn't force me, y'all. It just came out. It was like, oh God, I didn't know I felt that way.
Listen, y'all did a whole shift, that whole live. And I've been on the lives too. So
it flew by.
I to sit for 6 hours on a live. So
girl, the time flew by.
Oh my God. But it was needed because I think what it touched upon was really just being accountable for self, really just being able to see what your blind spots are. And sometimes since we're on the topic of pivot, when you're pivoting in these different areas of your life, a lot of the times you're alone. So even though you're planning on pivoting, whether it is in a relationship or business, whatever it is, a lot of the time you're alone and you don't have someone there who even cares, for one thing, but someone there to even see where your gaps are, to point things out to you, or things for you to even just think about. And I think, especially where I'm at right now, is if I didn't have a mentor or someone guiding me, I would be further behind. And with what stops a lot of us, or what I'm realizing, most of it is just a mindset thing. And most of it is a mindset thing. And most of it is what I'm calling a fear of going through the process, right? Because I feel like a lot of us try to shortchange the work or what the process is, not understanding the process itself is going to refine you. It's going to take you from point A to point B. And the obstacles that you face is really, in my opinion, the divine telling you, it's communicating something to you, or it's drawing attention to you. And what I'm even realizing is that what it's really revealing, it's like a mirror to yourself, and a mirror of either showing you something either you need to work on, you need to address, you need to move past. And a lot of it is mental.
Mhm.
And once you address those things, then you can kind of see the shift happening. But what I also realized with pivoting, or what we don't realize is, okay, the person, there's a version of you that accepted that version of your life, right?
Yes, 100%.
You were in agreement, in alignment with everything that was happening in your life at that time. And for what you want or the person you need to be, there is going to have to be some internal shifts
Yeah.
that are going to need to happen so you can be in agreement with the things that you want.
That's real.
Because if you were really in agreement with the things that you want, you would have already had them.
Girl, listen. Okay, so that honestly, I think is the lesson that so many of us are not ready for. You know, because we really do build this ego and this wall, like that fortress, you know, that she was talking about. And it's like, by the time we should have these things, we're borderline offended that we don't have them. And the main reason that we don't have them is because of who we are today. It's like we really feel like I should just be able to have all that as I am right now. And it's like, no, your mindset isn't conducive to that thing that you want, right? Like it's just not.
Listen, the ego is something that you need to like get over, honestly. And even right now, because Victoria, you know, I do full glam. I am do full glam. You know, I be stepping on hoes left, right, and center. So for me to even
I know. That's why I was like, she's coming on with no makeup. What? Oh my
God. Girl, listen. I already know how to do that game. Listen, it's bag time. It is bag time. Listen, I have time to play with nobody. Okay.
So
full court press with no makeup on.
Look, because I figure they're gonna see it one day. I mean, anyway, you know, that's how I see it. Because I'm like, look, I'm just because
I told you, homeboy, the bank was trying to holler this morning, and I showed up the same way. I had on a professional attire, obviously, but other than that,
I know. And you were saying that when you went to that one what you call it, you went to like an event or something, and you said that you got more guys talking to you when you were wearing a sweatshirt, right? Than the full on.
More men I find approach me when I dress casually, and which is not my normal attire. Because I realize my casual is other people's dressed up.
Oh Lord.
No, I know. I realize this. No, and Saka's told me about this too, by the way.
They like, who is this girl?
Everyone says it because in my mind, like this is me, like going to bed. This is me, like people would wear a shirt and some shorts like this and leave the house, which is fine, but that's just not my usual zhuzh. That's not my usual zhuzh. This is like, oh, I'm at the house. Even in the house, I have on my maxi dresses in the house. Girl. So, but that's just what I'm used to.
Right.
It's what I'm used to.
But it's all in I guess not. Well, girl, I don't know. Anyway, you don't want to know what I be wearing. But look, when I was on there on camera, that's I
thought you looked fine.
Girl, I was 5 minutes out of bed. So anyway,
I thought you looked fine. See, these narratives, these stories that we tell ourselves of how things need to look and how things need to be.
Very
right.
True.
Because even when I went to the bank today, okay, so I was opening up a business account for my business, We Wealth, which, because I was like, my pivot to keep it short is that I've worked as a CPA for the best firms in the world, Big Four, all of that. I worked for 2 of them. And I've been consulting for companies for a long time. And I just decided, I was like, I can do this shit on my own. I've been doing this for almost 10 years.
Wow.
Why am I doubting myself and my skills and my abilities? And then my clients all love me. And if I can do this for major companies, I can do this for any company. So I was like, I need to enterprise. I need to build my own company and I keep downplaying my, I don't know if it's downplaying, because I think what happens is, I know we talk about this in regard to beauty, that if you're someone that's conventionally attractive, you get used to your face, you get used to your looks. So for you, it's like whatever. But when you leave the house and people are noticing or commenting, then it reminds you like, oh, how I look has an effect on people, right? I think the same can go as far as our abilities, right? To you, it's whatever. To you, it's like for me, like I would go to business events and stuff like that. I wouldn't even tell anyone I was a CPA. I wouldn't even tell anyone which companies I work for. I wouldn't tell anyone a lot of these things because in my mind, I was like, it's not that big of a deal. But then when people somehow find out or respond to it, then it's like, oh, it reminds me. I was like, okay, I did work hard for this. This is something that is of value. And what I also realize is, why is that? Why don't I do that? And I think what it is that you're really not valuing, it's because you're attached to it. So there's something mentally that's saying that, you know, you're not valuing your own thing. And I think a lot of us, sometimes when we're pivoting, we have anchored ourselves to our old life. We have anchored ourselves to our childhood. We have anchored ourselves to whatever it is that is low or negative, or what I call us a low vibration. And when you are trying to ascend from that, you have to address those things, because I realize you bring those things to your business. You bring those things to your relationship. You're not really escaping yourself. Mm-hmm. And what a good business coach and mentor does is really hold a mirror up to you, which is what happened to you on that day. Really hold a mirror up to you, mm-hmm. so you can see that, okay, this aspect of yourself cannot exist for the version of the life that you want. Yep. And I think that is something that everyone experiences when they go through a pivot of some sort. Mm-hmm. And what I've been embracing is that person, that version, that life that I want already exists. I just have to go through the process, what I'm calling the process, mm-hmm. to bridge the gap to get there. And part of the process is for me to stand on my shit, to stand on what I've accomplished thus far. Mm-hmm. For me to recognize, okay, I did work hard and get the degrees and got the credential and worked wherever else I worked. Mm-hmm. And that experience means something. And it's my job to own that and then now package up that experience and provide it as value to the marketplace as I build this company.
Hold on now. What company are you talking about? You want to tell us about it?
Yes.
Go ahead, girl. Go ahead.
You know, girl, I've been trying to we've been supposed to have a meeting. Let's before we get, let's talk about that.
Miss Founder of We Wealth. I was like,
We Wealth. So We Wealth is my financial consulting company, mm-hmm. where I have clients, whether individual or businesses, that need financial strategies to help create and improve their wealth. So a little quick background, because I'm not trying to plug, but I have, like I said, worked for top accounting firms, and have consulted in the past few years for companies, helping them with their revenues, helping them with their business strategy. I've also helped individuals with their businesses and also helped individuals with their finances. So I've kind of done a lot. So I was like, I need to enterprise. I need to put myself out there. This is not my first business. This is not my first time at the rodeo. Mm-hmm. I've done other businesses, as you know, Victoria. So I was like, no, I need to do this. And the reason why I've been afraid, or what has held me back, is really just what I'm calling the fear of success. Okay. That's what I'm calling the fear of the win. Sometimes I was watching this video and he was saying, we imagine what we want and we imagine the thing, we imagine the win but we don't imagine picturing ourselves in it, right?
Yeah.
You imagine the mansion, but you don't imagine yourself walking through the mansion.
Yeah.
Right? You imagine a successful business, but you don't imagine yourself having a team running the business. You imagine yourself still working yourself to the bone running that business.
Yes.
Right? So that's
guilty.
And you know, Victoria, I'm gonna come down on you because I know you watch Erica. I know Erica be saying that you're supposed to build a team so you don't be burning out.
Well,
and
you
have
know,
your place so you don't be burning out.
And hold on, I'm going to bring somebody else up here too, because she knows Erica as well. And you got a fellow Jamaican man. Okay, hold on. The one thing I will tell you, before I bring on Mentor Shelly here, actually, you and Cherie, the young lady that was just up here a minute ago.
Cherie. I love her channel.
Okay,
There. I comment Black woman making money.
You guys need to connect. Y'all need to connect. You seriously need to connect because it sounds like you guys are in the same sphere of like, you're in the same ecosystem. I think that's the one to talk to for sure. So, oh girl, I lost my train of thought. I got so happy that Mentor Shelly came up here. So hold on. But okay, so I just have to ask you this though. What was it for you, Athena, that made you finally decide to go ahead and take this particular plunge? Because I think this is going to be very lucrative for you.
I know, and I think
was it something poignant, like something?
Okay, so it was a couple of things, right? And I think I've been avoiding doing this particular business because I think at the time I was like, oh, it's not my passion, it's not my interest. And I was like, that's not true. I do like to help people. I do like to teach and educate. I do like to see, I think because this is back to corporate plantation now. When you're doing it in that environment, it's draining to you and you don't love it. When you're doing it for you, it hits different. And you're able to have, especially because of my personality, I think autonomy suits me and running my own ship suits me in that area. But I think what I realize is that a lot of society, right, and these jobs and certain things, and I'm not knocking, I don't think everybody needs to be an entrepreneur. I don't think everybody needs to, whatever works, right? But it conditions you mentally to stay at a certain level that you can't get past. It conditions you almost to not take accountability for certain aspects of your life. And that shows up in different areas. And it conditions you to just stay at this level and mindset. And what we don't realize is sometimes on these jobs, you're just showing up and you're working on a particular function. And your creativity, your accountability, all of those things just stay stagnant at a certain level. But when you do decide to take the plunge and like, okay, I'm going to start my own business, sometimes what's difficult is leaving that mindset behind, because when you're starting your own business, first of all, you need confidence. First of all, I think my mentor, she said, you have to be okay and accept the fact you're starting from the bottom. You are starting from, you're building ground up. You don't have the flash. You don't have the luxury office. You don't have, and for me, that's hard. Because,
okay, I just want to point out, you guys, this, I know she's speaking to somebody right now, because you really get kind of beside yourself when you have a corporate job. You really be thinking you hot stuff.
No, you think you the shit,
girl. Yes,
you're like, oh, I work for this company. I'm working for the best in the world.
And hang on one second. Let me do this real quick. Hold on, because I'm trying not to miss anything, y'all. I'm getting better. Thank you so much for the super chat, Selfish Love. So yeah, you guys, don't forget, because I know y'all been sitting here watching us like fish in the fish tank. Don't be afraid to sponsor tonight's show, y'all, because really this one came from the heart. I literally have only talked about one thing that was in my outline. I don't even know why I do outlines, y'all. At this point, it's pathetic. Shelly already knows. Okay. Athena, go ahead and finish your thought, and then we're gonna have Shelly kick in as well because she's a career coach.
Yes, I've been on her channel too.
I was saying she might help you with some of your setup too. So Athena, you see how the network, girl, the network. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
But go ahead and finish your
I'm
thought.
looking forward to I'm gonna speak this in the universe. I'm looking forward to all these future collaborations. Okay.
You better say that, honey.
Okay, future collaborations.
I don't know. I feel like we're all gonna meet each other in person. Like everybody that's participating, you know. I have a feeling. So
listen. That's part of my business plan. I do want to put on a women's conference, business conference. I think that's essential. So you will see that in the future near you. But
you know, and I started to comment on the Erica thing real fast because what I wanted to tell you was that from watching her from beginning to now, she did do a lot of things on her own. And that was one of the biggest things that she kind of taught most of us, because I met Mentor Shelly through Erica as well. And she taught us as she was growing her businesses, like, y'all, you could try to do this all by yourself, but speaking from experience, that don't work. She's very big on systems, automation, like pay other people to do this stuff for you, you know? So yeah, it's like, but honestly, she's come such a long way. And it's like, you can't help but admire it and want to try to emulate it in a lot of ways. And like I said, those of us that want to do it by ourselves, we hit a wall and it hurts. God, it hurts, you know. But I'm sorry, Athena. Okay, so just you were saying something about the corporate, going from corporate to doing your own thing, and it's kind of an ego thing.
Yes, I think most of it has been mindset and fear of success. And the mental, I think it took so long because of the mental block that, okay, I'm out here on my own. But what I did was helpful, I have a mentor, but what was also helpful was going back through my work history and just really realizing every project that I did, every client experience, that all the training, all the damn corporate training, etiquette, all that stuff that I did, these were skills and are skills that I can easily apply and transfer to what I'm doing, or skills that I have, and also understand that I'm a very good communicator and I'm very good with people and I'm very good at client service and the customer experience because of who I am as a person. Because I was like, that experience with me needs to be on point because I know what I expect out of business as well. And also to justify the fees I'm going to charge. So, and I'm also already doing it. I've been doing it. So what was holding me back? And I was watching something and this guy was so right. He said, a lot of us don't need training or help on poverty, or don't need training and help on failure, or don't need training or help on being basic and average. Because that is what most of us live in. But if you want to take yourself to the next level and take yourself out of that, because if that's what most of us are experiencing, and I'm sorry, the average, especially like what I'm realizing too, the average in America is really, the bar is low. The bar is in hell. The bar is like dust. To me, it's dust, right? And I don't want to sound like elitist or anything, but I was like, it is like you only have to be just a little bit good. No, I'm serious.
No, it's true. It's true. It's true.
I'm serious. I've worked when my last client, I was working with, I didn't even realize who I was working with. And there were people coming and asking me for my help. And I think one of the guys was saying, oh, would you want to start a firm with me? Listen, these people's positions in that company were executive director positions, right? And I was a consultant there, but I wasn't a director. I'm like, I'm better than these people. And I was like, no, I gotta put 10 toes down for me. And I need to do what needs to be done because I'm downplaying myself. Because if people, because I was like, no, it was a lot of awakening.
Athena was feeling herself, y'all.
No, and I need to feel myself. And that's why you need to feel yourself trying to transition out of that stuff.
Yeah.
Or what people call, what is it, the term, necessary narcissism? That's what it
Yeah, because you don't want to go too far with it, because it's like the
far.
universe has a way of slapping your ass to get across the wall, which I learned this weekend. But it's, but
Oh
no,
Lord.
but I feel you. I totally feel you. But okay, look, I have to give my girl a proper introduction though.
Oh Lord. Here we go.
Shelly. No, pass the ball to Mentor Shelly. I love
Okay,
Mentor
I'm
Shelly.
like boop boop boop. All right, Mentor Shelly. So, girl, I know you got some input, and it is definitely past your bedtime, I would assume. So, thank you so much for coming on, Mentor
Of course.
Shelly. So, I think you've been here since the beginning. So, what do you think about this topic? Submission, surrender, all that good stuff. Like, what do you think? Are we on the right track here? What's up?
The pivot is here, just in time. I say that from a very certain place. The pivot is here because we as women, we as budding entrepreneurs, or some of us are already fully entrepreneurs, or we're making that pivot to become entrepreneurs. If your mindset, if you're at that job, which we've all been at jobs where we're either looking around saying, my time here is almost up. Or we're at that job going, I can package these services and offer it for a fee. Athena, you don't need no permission. Walk in it.
Okay, I was like, wait, you gotta unmute yourself, girl.
Hold on, Athena.
Taking a tambourine.
Athena, let me talk to you good. Walk in it. You have what you need, and I'm gonna tell you this as a Jamaican woman. Sometimes we allow the culture, the other people say, why you know have to this and this and that. Walk in it.
Code switching.
Yeah.
Y'all are learning something so gangster right now. They are straight code switching. I'm gonna sit back. Let me be quiet.
Walk in it. You have what you need. You know what you need. You know what you're gonna offer to your clients. You know what you're gonna do. Just walk in it. The only thing left for you to do is market the heck out of what it is that you offer.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. Let me come back to the US of A now.
In my mind, okay, you guys, I'm about to get so woo-woo on you. In my mind, I'm not even kidding. In my mind, I always was hoping that you two would get to talk to each other someday.
Seriously?
I have no idea like why I felt that way. But I swear to God, I was like, oh my God, I was like, these two have to meet. It could have just been me being silly, like, oh, they're both Jamaican. I just want them to meet. But I'm like, no, I feel like,
but she's making,
like this is happening for a reason. This is so great.
But Victoria, she like myself is making that pivot, and it's like unlike other. Oh, you have this idea, you try it out, and it didn't. No, this is different. The energy behind it is different. You ready? Like I'm ready, because I sent Victoria a text message earlier, like, yeah, this pivot is here. It is not just you, Athena. It's not just you. It's hitting me too on a whole other level. There's a bunch of pivots going on in 2023 for me. On a whole other level. So what I'm saying to you is walk in it. Because I'm telling that to myself too.
Oh, and Athena's she's in Florida, yeah?
Yep.
Florida. I used to be in Florida. I still got family in Florida.
Yeah, it's a Jamaican hub.
Okay.
You go to South Florida, New York.
Yes,
Oh yeah,
ma'am.
the stars have aligned, and you're like, no, that's just where we go, girl.
Well, that's because the climate is very similar to
Similar.
Jamaica. So
Yeah.
they all gather here, or in Georgia, they all gather in Stone Mountain, the old school ones.
No, Atlanta, when I lived there, the winter, listen. Mm-mm.
Yeah. So to just confirm it, this is confirmation for a lot of us. It's not just you, Athena, not just you, Miss Victoria, not just you, Cherie, because Cherie said the same thing. She said, I'm pivoting too. We all are.
Yeah.
And a lot of us have spent a lot of our time in corporate America, which there's nothing wrong with corporate America. They have their place, they have their purpose.
Yep.
But as somebody that has been in corporate America for more than 30 years, being in HR for at least 20,
Ooh, you done seen it all in HR. I know she done seen it all in HR. HR is just employee legal. HR just trying to make sure that the company don't get sued for some kind of labor infraction.
being in HR for that long, and you see different things from different aspects, you start to notice patterns. People, unfortunately, there's a lot of children in adult bodies that come to work and behave like you're supposed to cater to their foolishness.
Very true.
Children in adult bodies. Y'all heard that?
Because you have to kind of relegate. A lot of it is just a lot of what HR does is conflict resolution, to be honest. And the other part of it is you have to remind people they're adults, because the level of accountability is at an all-time low. And you were talking about mediocrity. Some people are not even at the bottom part of mediocrity in 2023. When you can read articles about people that have spent a whole 6 months in corporate America and go, oh, this 9 to 5 isn't for me, I quit. Yeah. So when I'm telling you, ladies, we have the acumen, we have the skills. And if you need a little time with the confidence, we work on that. As fake it till you make it, as they say.
Listen, what I realize is that I don't even need to fake it. Because I realize a lot of people just scamming out.
Seriously, a lot, and so many other people, honestly, they really do embody that fake it till you make it. It's like
the posture is important. Your posture is absolutely important. Posture as far as mental posture, as far as are you really out here just to take people's money, or are you really out here to help people? Are you really trying to be of assistance? Are you trying to improve a client's situation based on the service or product you provide? What is it that you're out here really doing? And if you're doing what you need to do, the right clients will find you. And you will find the right clients, but we also have to put ourselves out there too. So
that's kind of hard.
Is real, y'all.
That's been kind of hard for, well, I shouldn't say hard. I just think it's something that I'm still adjusting to, where it's like, you have to show up. You have to be consistent. You have to give of yourself in ways that you're not used to, and
because it requires more of us. In order for us to get to the business acumen we really want, it is going to require more self-development. As we grow, the business grows. And I'm a big believer, as Erica always talks about, business systems. Ladies, we cannot do it by ourselves.
Listen, I ain't even trying to do it by myself. I'm coming out the gate with systems.
We can't.
I was gonna say Athena is the queen of I ain't doing this by myself.
No,
right?
I am not.
Listen here. If I had learned nothing else in HR, I learned write a process. If you can read and follow directions, you can do this. It's really that simple. It's not easy sometimes, but it really is that simple.
Yeah. I'm getting ready to start marketing and have my social together.
Mhm.
I have meetings with like a brand strategist and PR people, but
Okay.
I've
Girl.
been focusing on the back end and getting the processes in place
I
because
was just about to ask you, is your structure in place, which includes processes?
yes. So listen, I've had to get contracts written up.
Mm-hmm.
I had to get especially because I'll also be referring clients to like, actually, Victoria, we need to work
I
on
was
some
just about to
client
say,
referrals.
look,
Okay.
look.
I've been trying to talk to you, girl, but you've been dodging me, so it's okay.
Ooh.
It's okay.
Uh-oh.
It's okay. But I need
No,
someone to
it's
refer when they have credit issues. I need
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
gonna say we can like I said, I think we all have something valuable to offer one another, and I'm definitely down to do that. So
Yeah.
but we'll set something up, Athena. But Shelly, I had
Yeah.
a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
And I hope the 10 people that are watching, you know, this is how these things happen. These are how pivots happen because, you know, we all recognize look where we are right now ain't really where we trying to be.
No.
So
No. No.
and I want to tell you guys it's okay. Like if you feel that in your life, don't let anybody shame you out of thinking that you're crazy because you want to do better, you know? And you're not crazy if you feel like you're not in the right place right now. That is
That-
literally sometimes your gut telling you.
yeah.
It's time. We got to start listening to ourselves, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
But Shelly, I had a
Mhm.
question for you just for the folks that are watching.
Mm-hmm.
So in your experience, what was your moment or what has been your moment, you know, from being in HR for over 20 years, helping other organizations essentially keep their companies intact? What is it that happened for you where that light bulb went off and you said you wanted to pursue being independent, you know?
Because I've been around in HR for so long, I've literally watched a manager stand in front of me and say everything is gonna be fine on a Friday afternoon, and come back on Monday, and that person that was singing the song "Everything's Gonna Be Fine" was gone.
Wow.
That's happened at least 3 times.
Wait, how were they gone? Were they fired? Did they quit?
Because they were merging companies, they got rid of half of the upper management staff. She was part of the upper management. Yeah,
I've worked on M&A deals and they get rid of upper management because they already
because they have their own.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Just like how all of those corporations are making decisions to benefit their bottom line first, I believe, I wholeheartedly embody that each of us should have our own personal economy, and that should be first.
Our own bottom line.
And our own bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
And this and the conglomerate or single company that we form, work on to build and have it be successful so it can support the dreams and visions we have. It is not all about these corporations. It's about the corporation of me.
Say that again, sister. The corporation of who?
Me.
So what you mean to tell me, Shelly, is that we all should not, and I'm saying it is for some people, so let me preface this.
Right.
But what you're saying is that it is okay to value yourself enough to not want to be a part of that system. Is that what I hear you saying?
Absolutely.
Or...
Absolutely correct.
Okay, so I shouldn't be ashamed that maybe I went to college and got degrees and you know, maybe I feel that because I did this, I have to stay in these jobs because otherwise what did I do it all for? Are you saying that it's okay to have done those things and that it's okay to change your mind?
Press pause. Come on now. You know better than that.
Is that what I hear you saying?
Press pause. First of all, I went to college, got my degree in human resources management, not for none of these corporations. I got that to enrich my brain, not theirs. It may be benefiting them on their bottom line right now because I work there. That does not mean it. The ultimate goal is to enrich my personal economy. That's the priority. That if it's a part, you should have a career strategic plan in place. That yes, you're working for these organizations, but there's a timetable with them. If they're not enriching your pocket with the dollar amount that you feel is necessary, start looking for something else or formulate your own LLC slash Inc. slash whatever it is that is going to enrich your personal economy. Your personal economy is the first priority. Period.
You know, Shelly, a lot of people are afraid of leaving that stability and that security. what and this is interesting. This has always been interesting to me because with what you two were just discussing, with upper management being the first to get cut off at the knees, is there truly any security?
Absolutely not. You'd be in fantasy land if you thought so.
So have we been sold a bill of goods in that jobs are actual security?
You've been sold an impression. You've been sold the fantasy of and the illusion of stability.
Okay.
You've been sold this illusion of stability because in order for the corporations and the heads of the corporations to get richer, they need you there to get paid $50,000 so you can make $300,000 for the corporation.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you like it is, because those words came out of Erica's mouth a couple of days ago.
Yes,
just so you're aware.
So what I hear you saying is that when I'm being told by my family, by the school system, by all these entities.
Wait. Sorry. Before you go down the list of who telling you what, do they have a company making all this bank, or are they a part of the same indoctrination we've all been experiencing?
You are bringing it right back home. So here is the point. Thank you for saying that, Shelly, because you are bringing this right back around to the beginning. When I said you, me, whoever else has been playing in this playbook that was literally set for us to have this specific spot in this situation. That playbook didn't tell us how to pivot into the next thing.
Why would it? Because it doesn't serve the purpose. It doesn't serve. It's kind of like I said in the comments earlier. You can't use a ghetto playbook to play in the corporate world.
Girl.
You can't. You got to use the right playbook for the right purpose.
Oh, my Lord. Okay, listen. Listen. There is a reason that this is happening right now. I swear to y'all. So look, I hope that this hits somebody and you're understanding what we're saying. It's like you need to, and okay, I will tell y'all this. You don't start to see these things until you go into business. When you learn that you have to market a specific way to people, you start to understand somebody marketed something to you as well.
Yep.
They marketed this career thing so well that a lot of us that knew we were creatives, independent thinkers, innovators, that system that they kind of forced us into, we were being marketed to. That no. You see, when you think too much on your own, we're going to put you in the corner. You need to just get in this system. But again, you're an innovator, you're a creator, you're all of these things, but you're being told and trained to be something else. That is a problem. And that is why my channel exists. Okay. That is why Mentor Shelly exists. That's why We Wealth Group. Girl, you keep changing the name. What is it exactly? Tell us.
It's We Wealth, but the URL is We Wealth Group.
That's why they exist, you guys.
Listen.
I'm telling you, and I think that something is happening. I know Athena probably got some words on this, but I feel like there is something happening where
There's a shift.
the shift is something we can't even deny at this point, because when you start realizing that you are getting played, and again, jobs are not terrible, and some people are meant to have careers, because listen, we gonna need some employees. But here's the thing, you got to recognize, if you feel like you're in that system and it just doesn't fit, stop trying to mold yourself. Submit to the process of finding out who you really are. Ori said it a minute ago when he was up here. Who are you? What do you want to do? And why do you want these things? Y'all. I'm done.
I think,
but thank you, Shelly.
No problem.
Oh,
you know
man.
what I realized what it is? It's the you know how I talked about a lot of us don't need to be taught how to be regular, but you need to be taught how to be successful. That is something that you need training on, because
yes,
we're not around you know to be that. But
and the people that you are around for the most part, because really, okay, this is another thing too. I guess I'll have to kind of expound on it on another live. But when you want to grow, Shelly was talking to me about this earlier too. It's like when you want to grow, you got to accept sometimes you are going to be the only one that sees the vision in your group. So you have to traverse on your own. You have to get out, meet different people, get in circles that you're afraid to be in. It's like you have to. Like literally. Yes, yeah. It's like, if you are in a family with no business owners, you have no business talking to any of your relatives about your business. You have no business doing that. I'm sorry, you don't.
And I think the mistake a lot of us make is feeling that the people around us
understand
going to be support, or even our clients or customers. Your clients or customers strangers are gonna support you more and quicker.
Girl, strangers gonna make you rich, okay?
Also, have the confidence. Have the confidence that you can get clients and customers off of your goods and service. Don't think you need to only the people around you or your community or your family to do that. Sometimes I think we think that, or we attach ourselves to that.
True.
They're the last if they ever become that
business, because if you run a business, you should be able to get anybody, or who your avatar, who your target customer is. It doesn't need to be anyone in your family. And I think the other aspect that holds us back the most, especially that transition to corporate, to running your own ship, is okay, you have to worry about where is this revenue coming from. I think that's what holds people back the most. How am I going to get this money? How am I going to build this revenue? Just enough to not even just live off of it, but to make a profit, to have, money past that, right? And I think what happens is that, especially when I train on this mindset, we're thinking that there's only a limited supply of money or limited ways to get it, instead of visualizing that there's this entire sea of money, and all I need to do is come up with a product or a service and a process to extract some of that money to call that money to myself. I input spirituality in my thinking and business process.
Okay.
So what I had to do was realize that there's just a sea of money out there, and all I have to do is come up with a product or service to throw my net and capture some of that sea of money, and just rinse and repeat. And I think that when you truly, if that is something that you feel like is you want to do at some point, because everybody don't want to run their own business, is to get over the fear of making that transition, is to really think out how you are going to capture and build those revenue streams and what processes you're going to place and what resources you need to have. Now, a business coach is helpful with that, or someone who has run business before,
Right.
or a career coach if you need help with your career, like Mentor Shelley. But I think with the corporate 9 to 5, you don't have to think about that. You know, when you clock in, the check gonna be this, and you don't have to necessarily worry about where the money is coming from. And I think most of the fear is when you're out on your own like that, is where am I going to get this money? Are people going to believe in my product and service? Are they really going to want to buy it? And things of that nature, which is a self-talk, the negative self-talk, and then the doubt. But if you realize that those thoughts are coming because you're still anchoring yourself to your old life, to your old ways of thinking, to the old ways of doing things, it's hard for you to perceive of something different working out great, because you just don't know. You just don't know. It's the fear of the unknown. But what I think helps you is if it's almost like the Matrix. Remember, they pulled up in the car, Neo was in the car, and he was about to leave, and Trinity was like, you already know where that road leads. You already know where that road leads, right? So be brave enough, be courageous. It's not like you're not going to have fears. Shit, you have fears. Do it anyway. That's what bravery and courage is. Just do it anyway. You already know what that leads. Let's find out what this road leads to. Let's find out here.
Girl, and people, honestly, people be out here scared as hell. They just be pretending. And another thing, and one thing about fear that I forget who said it, but when you really pay attention to how you feel when you're excited and when you're in fear, the feeling is very similar. Like you kind of feel it in your chest, in your gut, like you kind of, so sometimes it's hard to actually even decipher what you're really feeling, you know, because you could be excited, but you tricked yourself into thinking it's fear. And then the other point, because I like what you said about the money thing, about catching it with the net. I can I tell you what I actually think when I wake up every day? Shelly already know I'm a mess, and what I'm about to say is gonna sound so crazy. But I'll be walking, I swear, I get up and I walk around and I'll be like, who got my money?
Oh, I've been thinking that too. Where my money at? Where's my money?
I'll be looking like somebody in this damn grocery store got my money. How am I gonna get it from you though? That's the question. Because all of y'all got my money. Y'all don't know it yet, but you got my money, right? It's my job to open up your, you know, to make you realize you got my money and it's time. Come on. I got something for you, but you got my money. So come on, you know? So that has honestly like kind of helped me in the process too. So it is really, again, submitting and surrendering to change and not just saying, oh, well, I got to make money today. It's who got my money? I'm saying the same thing, but I'm just saying it differently, right?
Yeah.
You know,
it has different energy.
Yeah. And instead of, you know, Athena saying, well, how am I going to make this money today? She's like, well, I have this net and I know money's infinite. So all I have to do is cast it out. Casting it out is whatever her business is, her services, you know, her personality.
I'm trying to give.
All of that. It's like, that's your net. Cast it out. And those that are meant to come, they gonna come, you know? That's it, y'all. I love this. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys. Like this. No, I know this is helping some people. Like I know it for a fact. Cause girl, people be going through some stuff and they feel so alone. Like, or like they're nuts. And it's like, y'all are not crazy. Y'all are not crazy. Like, we were not all meant to be employees. That's all I'm gonna say. No shade, but
absolutely.
Especially as Black people, what my mentor said is that a lot of us can't even afford to be employees. And a lot of us cannot afford to be employees.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, a lot of us can't afford to be employees because especially if you are coming from a family that has not created generational wealth,
you better say that.
you have to be the one to create it. And the most effective ways when it comes to wealth, and I'm gonna teach this on my channel too. It's either you build and create it, you marry it, or you inherit it.
Oh, you gonna make them mad with that middle one.
Oh
Okay.
Lord, Lord,
If
girl.
you are coming from a family, I'm gonna do this on my channel, and I
Yeah,
invite you
please do.
guys all to come on my channel.
Plug your
Absolutely.
channel. What's your
Just let us know.
channel? And if you want to
My
put your
channel-
stuff in the chat too, you guys.
Oh,
if
my
you wanna-
channel is gonna be, all right, let me change this again. My channel, I'll give the @ handle for my channel. Actually, that's all
Okay.
my social media.
Okay, yeah,
actually.
go ahead and drop it.
Go ahead and drop it, honey.
All my social media is under that handle, and my YouTube channel too.
Okay.
But so you build it yourself, you inherit it, or you marry it. A lot of us are not coming from money like that, right?
No, sir.
My parents, when we immigrated from Jamaica, actually my parents have money now. But I was growing up with them. I saw the build. They have money now, but
Hold on, Athena. Did you put your stuff in the chat? It didn't pop up.
Oh, I didn't put it. Hold on 1 second.
As I said, put it in the public chat because you want everybody to reach you, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll put it in the chat.
Yep.
So a lot of us are not coming from families that have wealth, right? So I've seen what it takes to get there. It's a climb, right? So if you're not coming well, if you're not gonna marry well, and to be realistic in our community, how many men can even sit you down realistically? And how many of them are talking to you?
Girl, don't start no mess right now.
Okay, how many of them talking to you? And then,
Too late.
listen, don't let me talk about men, because you already know.
Mm-mm.
No.
No. We're not going to those creatures tonight. Please.
And then out of the men who do have something, how many of them not crazy? Because trust me, I've dated them. They're crazy. So there's that option. So you have to create it, and you have to trust yourself that you can create it. And
Selfish
you have
love
to trust
wants to
yourself
do
that
it all.
You want to create it and marry it, girl.
I like that.
I'm with you. Okay?
I like that.
I'm with you.
And I think I'm going to say something in the words of Cherie, unpopular opinion. I'm actually starting to realize that, and I'm still working through this, right? But I feel like it is okay to sit down for a little bit. But I think it's kind of okay to still work a little bit, and maybe not like go out for a 9 to 5. But I think for a time it's okay to help build with your mate, So I guess we can have a panel discussion on that another day. But yeah, I've been thinking about it.
Invite me on that panel, girl.
Because I'm like, I already, like I told you already, give me a 6-month break. That's all I need, baby. Give me a 6-month break, and then we can come back together and try to figure out how we gonna make this money. But I ain't going to work for nobody, so don't ask me to do that.
Yeah, I think especially when it comes to relationships and finance, which I'm going to talk about as well.
For sure.
I think that a lot of us keep anchoring ourselves to what is perceived as the old ways of doing things. Mm-hmm. And I think in some cases, it's limiting our thinking. I think that we can be creative enough and critically think enough, okay, in this new world, in this paradigm, in this new reality, what does that look like in a relationship, right? Because I know a lot of women say, okay, if I build a successful company, then, how am I going to still have my stay at home with my baby type of thing and run a successful company? Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, why does it have to be a this or a that? Why can't you build your company enough to where you can hire employees and you just come in every Friday and Monday, run your employee meeting, look at the numbers and go about your business and go back to your baby and your man? That's another option.
Why nobody thinks about that?
Yeah, why it doesn't always have to be a give up situation, or what? Why it always have to be, well, this man ain't doing this, that, and the third, blah, 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 blah. All right. I mean, everyone can do what they want to do, but if he is putting in the work, don't even waste time. But if he is putting in the work, and all you know is that maybe he just doesn't know enough about processes, and you give him some game on processes and see what he don't execute it for him now. Don't execute it for him. Give him the process.
That's hard for a lot
and
of
him
women.
execute it himself and see where that goes, and he will be able to enterprise if he is of a certain way and mindset.
If he has the right mindset, they already have to have the ambition and the
It has
mindset
to
for
be
that to work.
yeah, they already have to be doing it. Because what I also realized too is, and I can speak to this based off my experiences with men that women are trying to get out here. The money.
You're giving me an idea for a show, so I'm just going to be jotting as you're talking, because I want you all to come back on a panel that we're going to have to do.
Yes. The money is never enough. The money is never enough. Character and mindset have to come first. I don't care what nobody say. Whether he making 100,000 or 100 million, and I'm telling you this. I'm telling you this, right? As a woman who's dated these men, whether they make 100,000 or 100 million, the money is never enough. The character has to come first.
Yep.
And I've been in situations where I know a lot of women would not have chose the option I've chose, right? Black card on the table. Buy anything you want.
You made me stop writing. You made me stop writing. Excuse me.
And walk away.
Yeah, but what price does that black card come with?
Yeah, exactly.
If you can't look yourself in the mirror, walk away.
I knew this man didn't care.
Mm.
So your personal integrity have to come first.
Exactly.
And then you also have to have an abundance mindset, because like how I attracted you, I know I can get another one, and I sure did.
Right.
So it is, character has to come first. The money's never enough. Just like on our end with them, the looks is never enough. They might think it is, or it might hold them for a while, but they get used to you. And if you don't have any personality, you don't got nothing going on in your life, you don't have great conversation skills, he's not you don't have any humor, any like your own personality.
If you don't have
like a light.
If you don't have a brain and a life of your own,
right. You're gonna be in quicksand. So, you know, and that shows up. And that shows up. And there's a lot of misconceptions too, because you feel like, okay, this person is successful, or people are multifaceted and have different sides to themselves. All of us do, right? Who this person shows up in one area of their life. And a lot of men do is they'll be really good at their business, and then their personal life be in shambles, which a lot of their personal life it be looking like paper mache, some tape. If you look at all kind of, I was like, this about to fall down.
And you're supposed to be the glue and his rib.
No.
Lies.
I'm not about that.
Lies.
No. That is a burning house. You're gonna be drained, depressed. Your eyes gonna be sagging. You're gonna have them dark marks underneath your eyes. You're gonna be a therapist.
No, thank you.
On some kind of medication. A lot of those women who make that trade are very unhappy, very depressed, and I met them and go through a lot. The reason why I'm not like booed up right now is because I just don't want to go. I'm not letting nobody put me through nothing. Like I'm good.
They'll suck the life force out of you. Some of those. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Listen, when you see me in real life, I float because I keep the stress low.
Okay. That's what I need right there. I need some flotation devices.
No,
but
I'll be out here like, who got my money?
But Athena, just to piggyback on what you said, if their character, all the money does for a lot of those males, because some of them are not men, some of them are males.
Preach.
I'll be right back. Keep on going, Shelly.
Yeah. A lot of those males, all the money is doing is magnifying who they truly are. Because that's all money does.
You
Money
know what?
doesn't make a man, it
Mhm.
only magnifies the type of man they are. So if the character is not right, the money is going to magnify the foolishness and the wahala they come with.
Yeah.
So
I
it's so important for you to understand and be cognizant and be keen with with the character and the authenticity and the drive of this person
Right.
versus what they have to offer
I
monetarily, because
agree.
you can make your own money. It's not
I
about the
agree.
money,
I agree. And I
you
think
know.
every woman should have their own money too, whether it's money that she puts aside that she gets from him. I can do a whole thing. I can do a whole thing about this.
Please
But
do.
I think that what often happens too is a lot of us have experience and behave out of survival, right? Out of
Mm.
survival. And what I noticed too with a lot of men, when they finally do come into something, it's almost like they go through like a phase where they want to, it's almost like they're catching up or they're trying to relive days of like glory. So like, no, I'm seeing this. I have 4 brothers. I'm seeing this with one of my brothers right now. He finally got something. So now it's like I'm gonna have all the. It's like a party time because for periods of time you were grinding. You were grinding out of survival. So now I have this chunk of money now. Now it's time for me to enjoy and get all the things that I didn't or couldn't or what I desired during that
Mm.
time when I didn't have it. And what I've also noticed too is that there's a lot of misconception about like the confidence and self-esteem of men. I don't think most men have high self-esteem and confidence from my dating experiences, even the ones with money. And I do think that and especially I don't want to say, I don't know. I notice in comparison it's a lot worse with black men. A lot worse.
Girl,
Now you're gonna hurt. You're gonna
don't
hurt
get the
feelings.
manosphere woken up over here,
No,
please.
it's a
Lord, I
little.
can't take it. I can't
I know.
take
I
it.
don't.
They
I
hate me
don't think
already.
we've
Let
been.
them
They
be.
probably see me outside as a child. They actually
I was
some of
gonna
Let
them do
say
them
love
AM1's
be.
not here anymore. AM1 would let you have it,
Have
sister.
it.
some of them do love me though. So they be acting all upset and then on the low they be trying to love me. But anyway,
Listen. We
I have
listen, we know
no
that's all that
comment.
madness is for show, but at the end of the day, you always have to whenever you're evaluating or you're, considering anybody to be either in dating, or you may be considering them to be serious, their character comes into play first. And
yeah.
I
I
s-
would take a
if I
guy with less.
if I smell immaturity, bye.
Yeah. I would
Ain't
take a
nobody got
guy
time.
who made less. I'm not gonna throw no dollar amounts on this internet street, honey.
Mm.
But I would take a guy who made less than another guy if he had better character. And I think
Yeah.
character mindset is what I'm looking for first. I've seen a lot of women do that. I've seen a lot of women leave rich husbands. And the men are like, oh, how dare she leave? He don't even make as much, because they never understood that it just can't be about the
No, they think money is going to fix everything
no.
instead of
My
them
dad's a
working on
VP at this
themselves.
company, and only him and one other guy are still married. Only him
Ooh.
and one other guy are still married. My dad's married 40 years. I don't know how long the other guy married. And I asked him, I said, why are all the men in the company divorced? Or like, what's going on?
Mm.
And you know what my dad told me?
What?
He said all of them thought all they had to do
Mm?
was make money,
Ooh.
and they treated their wives or whatever like the help instead of a partner.
Mm.
And that's
Mm.
their answers. He said my dad would never say that publicly. My dad's so introvert, but that's exactly what he said. And I said, okay.
What did I
He
just say?
also said
They want to
they
do
don't
self
really
work.
understand women.
They, they don't want to do the self work or to understand themselves, much less understand the woman in their lives.
Okay, listen.
Yeah, that's another show for another day, honey, because that's a
Another day.
It
whole other.
sure is. I got
Mm-hmm.
I totally got an idea from that, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
because it's there's so many layers to it, because it's
Oh yeah.
really, at the end of the day, it's like the truth of the matter is, I think for us to turn a lot around,
Hmm.
I still believe in us as a collective.
Hmm.
No, I
So,
believe in us as a
Of course.
black
so
preference.
yeah, so my thing is this, and I think I want to
I just
have
want to put that
a
out there because I know a lot of them think that once you start seeing stuff, you divested. I have not divested. I have
listen, I'll talk about that on another stream, because it's like
not.
sometimes you do it unintentionally, because you got to just date who's there, you know. And what I was going to say is that unless some of our ideologies change, we will never have generational wealth, and we will never be able to really excel anywhere. We can't have a whole bunch of people doing it by themselves. That's not how it works. That's not how groups grow and dynasties are built. That's not what happens, you guys. Like, we can't do this alone.
No.
You
You
know
know?
what you should also include in that show? Who is truly benefiting from the divide?
Ooh,
The government.
girl, you can't tell them,
but
because a lot of them they're not ready to hear that, though.
but
That's
you
why
know
it's
what?
like,
Girl.
I was watching a video and a guy says, "What happens to a community that rewards mediocrity?"
well,
No.
she like, look,
Mediocrity.
she telling us nothing.
What? No. What happens to a community that rewards mediocrity? We living in it. It's
Uh,
already happened. This is what's happened when you
uh,
reward mediocrity.
Who said that? Because I feel like I heard that recently too.
Ken Billions.
Because I'm like, I feel like I heard that too. So is that I don't recognize that name, but that's somebody on social media.
That's somebody on YouTube, and you need to be on his channel too.
That must have been why I heard it. What'd you say?
Peel back. If you want your eyelids peeled back, go on that channel.
You said Ken Billions?
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool beans. But yeah, I think we should have a discussion about this. This would be pretty cool. Because I feel like you guys have a lot of input. I'm pretty sure Cherie would have a lot to say about this too.
Yeah, I saw
yeah,
mine.
this is
I
more.
know how
Yeah,
Sharif felt about that.
listen. These topics about the men's and the women's and all these things are more you guys topic of discussion. I usually stay in my lane for the
She don't
most
want to
part.
smoke. She don't
Because
want
when we think, no, because I think we're looking at it from not necessarily just the men, but I think from a
Mhm.
generational wealth standpoint, and really
Well,
seeing
yeah,
us do better as a collective.
yeah,
Those of us that want to, because some people are just going to remain in the outskirts or just be forgotten, right? But
sure.
for those of us that really do still believe, because I'm one of those that does still believe, even though people don't be believing that I do. I do feel that there is going to be a period of in time where we're going to all just have to buckle down and surrender to the idea that, okay, you're gonna have to get married and just freaking stay married, man. Like,
But most of who is talking this nonsense behind the scenes is married or they with somebody about to get married. They just doing all the nonsense in front of the camera.
It
These
is
people
yes,
are actors on a
yes,
YouTube level. Like,
because
listen with
they're,
the foolishness.
and the whole thing and the whole point about like just tonight and all of these pivots and things like that we're witnessing, you know, it's like it's not just Black Chyna, it's anybody that you see that changes the game or flips the script. It's like, look, they recognize something in their pathology or their game plan isn't working, so they have to do something else, and it's
Mhm.
okay to do that.
It's all right, but I'm gonna need you to leave I'm gonna need you to leave Angela alone now, okay?
Angela
She, I
White.
know she's a supporter. She is yeah,
No, I am a
me
listen.
and Sharia.
I am a supporter of positive transformation.
Oh, because you
Okay.
found God.
That's a good way to
Well,
put it.
I no, that's one of the pivots she made. But I'm a positive I'm a proponent and I am a supporter of someone making the change mindset wise. She could be an example of a pivot that we can all learn from.
Mhm.
Instead of kind of, because there's a lot of people that's questioning it, because we questioned it on Friday night and asked a bunch of questions and really like peel back the layers of what's really going on from a lawsuit standpoint and financial standpoint. We touched on that a little bit, and we didn't really touch on the spiritual piece, but there's some other that's another place we can explore as well. But at the end of the day, she was brave enough to even open her mouth to expose this about herself. Not many people would do it.
Mm.
And there should be some credence added to her for doing it courageously, because a lot of people couldn't. Not to say it's not going to benefit her in some way, shape, or form, but at least what she's using is her talking points and not her body in this venture.
Mm-hmm.
And
she gonna make me pull up the Instagram. Don't do
please
it to
don't.
me, Shelly. Don't do it to me, Shelly. Because girl, she's still poking that booty out, even walking up to that cross.
Listen
Lord.
here.
Hashalaboya, honey.
Listen.
I was so gonna do
I
all
would
that tonight,
say,
but the spirit
hold
said
on,
something else. So.
hold on, because for those of you that truly have a spiritual life, knows that a lot of the changes do not come overnight. Some of them take years. Some of us are still being delivered from some things. Bless God, amen. So all I'm saying is give the girl a chance.
I'm a listen.
Yeah, let her prove all of who is doubting it wrong, and those who are supporting her right, or vice versa. We don't know. Only time will tell. Put a little prayer in there for the child, and we hope the best for her. Some people are expecting the worst, but we really do hope the best for her. And she's at least making an effort. I'll give her that.
I was almost a pastor's wife.
Oh my God!
I know you've said that before.
Please put that on the docket. Miss Athena, please put that on the docket for a future show, because that needs to be explored. Okay.
Okay, beneath the cloth, honey. Listen.
No, it totally does. And I think we do need to talk about, what our role is, like I said, as women in, again, the generational wealth process, in the building legacy process. We are an active part of that. So we have to take this role seriously, So I think that's great information to share.
And a part of that does include picking the right person.
Picking the right pastor.
Absolutely.
Girl, look.
And let the strong find a way and the weak become lost. Okay.
Wait a minute now. Hold on. Yes, please. Add that to your docket, and I will gladly come in to participate in that discussion for sure.
Hold on. Okay. Before we close out tonight, ladies, I'm going to go ahead because I didn't really get to dive in like I wanted to. So I'm sorry, Shelly, but I gotta share. I gotta share the guest of honor, because this is proof positive that old habits die hard, because she is showing us that from the back, baby.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
Girl, come on now. We talked
at
about
least it's covered. How about that?
Girl, I see crack.
Ooh, Lord,
but it's covered.
That is a prayer posture right there.
But it's covered.
Prayer.
It never used to be covered.
This one is
covered.
Chyna finna get a husband off of this.
Goodbye.
You gonna get a mega preacher, a Creflo.
Somebody that's hot in the pants.
Okay,
but anyway,
she gonna be okay. She is advertising for her Christian husband.
Thank you.
Listen, her rich Christian.
Okay,
all right.
For those of you that are not from California, what you have to know is that there's a reason some of us see this differently. It's because this is like a cross that a lot of people use to try to make a point. It's the same as the Hollywood sign for Hollywood. It's the same thing. So when we see this in film, we're like, what are you doing? But like you said, Shelly, I'm going to eat crow if all of this means the Lord. But it's just so funny to me. It's like, it's still the same thing, just covered up. That's it. So, girl,
Uh,
I'm a wish her the best.
Victoria.
It's a little dramatic, but
We're listen, at least
No,
the dramatics is
a pastor love a reformed woman.
oh no,
I bet.
They
hmm.
love a reformed.
They're the ones that do love the reforms, you know what, has some stuff going on within themselves
They
to
are.
love that so much. Oh well, I just want to help her. I just want to make sure she's
Mhm,
blessed. Oh, there's a
mhm.
reason you saying all that. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that alone. Listen,
But no,
y'all don't get to see this side of me.
no,
Usually keep
but
it
like
pretty straight laced tonight, but okay.
okay, let's I'm gonna finish out the comments and then we'll close out for tonight, y'all, because we're at the 3 hour mark. I always
Mhm.
promise I'll never do it, and I always do, which is just terrible.
Mhm.
I need to like not do this.
Lord Jesus.
We need to praise in public. That's the big thing they're saying on Insta. They're like, the only reason y'all think it's weird is because you don't praise in public and nobody da, 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 da. And I'm like, look, I ain't never been in church and did the booty pucker.
Come on,
Oh, you had your prayer cloth
ma'am,
ready.
ma'am.
You had your
Everybody,
prayer cloth.
every what you keep thinking, you keep forgetting how this person was socialized all their life. They didn't grow
The
up in church.
playbook. The playbook, exactly like we were talking about before. It's just
Exactly,
she's kind of still using the same playbook in
because you
this
keep,
transition.
and I
So
and I think part of it is that you're expecting certain behavior patterns from a person that have no clue what the playbook is. They don't. She don't.
It's a
You can't
troll.
expect that.
Oh my
moderators, get on your job.
God.
Get on your job, moderators. It's a
Uh-oh.
it's a
I'm
defector.
not a moderator, so I can't kick him out.
Oh shit.
Lord.
Ah, damn. Hold on. Shit, there's a defector in the crowd. Wait, he might
Uh-oh.
have
Hold
Not a
already.
on.
good live unless there's a
Hold
troll.
on, mother. Hold on. Let me take
Wait,
care of that real quick. Hold
I
on.
didn't
Wait a
see him.
minute.
I think he's gone. Wait. Oh shoot.
Wow.
Oh, because I reported him while you were talking.
Okay.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I did.
Lord.
Yes.
Who's he
Okay,
talking
hold
about?
on.
Me?
Well, there's only one fat black bitch on the screen.
Oh
So
my
yeah.
God.
Okay,
Listen.
look. Okay. Don't divest, ladies. You see what can happen. So
Oh my God.
okay, that wow, he just took all the wind
Really?
out of our
So that,
sails
you know what
here.
that means? That means
Hold on, let me see.
we've gotten somebody that wanted to be seen. Oh.
Hey, somebody said that today too. I forget. I feel like it might have been Diamond Dave or somebody, but they were like, when there's somebody in the chat that just has to say something negative, he's like, it's because they are literally not seen in their regular life.
Yep.
And they have to literally come on because why would somebody sit here with 3 women chatting, just cackling away and feel the need to say that? It's like, sir, why are you watching? Like that. The real question is, why did you click the
Why are you not
button?
working on your dreams or working a job?
And how about this? If that FBB, if that were so true, why did you click on the thumbnail? Because clearly you already knew what you were going to see. So y'all, I think they'd be curious. I'm just saying in different ways. I don't think that. I think there was more to that than what he's trying to
Boo boo kitty.
pretend. I'm just saying. I can't. There was something
That's
else
my
there.
issue with people. It's like stop the nonsense.
Exactly, dark and lovely. I agree. It's progress. It's progress, Victoria. Let her keep progressing.
Now you're
Bless
right.
God.
Okay. All right.
Bless
Look.
God.
All
Amen.
right. Like I said,
Are you really popping if you don't have a troll every now and then come in your chat?
Okay, look, I don't actually have that happen very often.
Really?
No.
Or when it does, I don't catch it. Just like this, because that comment was probably sitting there for a while because I didn't see it.
Yeah, because I reported it.
Oh, good. Thank God, girl.
I didn't even see it. I was like, what?
Oh, I stay ready. Listen, if it was my live, nobody would have saw it more than 5 seconds. I would have boop and kept it.
Yeah, because if I wasn't on the panel, I'd have probably caught that real quick.
Oh no, I know. Okay, so hold on. So before we close out here. Athena. Oh, here you are. Okay. I want to see. Okay, I'm gonna make you a mod. So that way, if you're ever here and you catch some bull,
Mm-hmm.
Well, you
you
know,
can
I'm a member of the channel. You know, I don't know.
snipe them.
She is. She is.
Yes, ma'am. But yeah, so anyway, guys, like we're learning so much as we go on, and stuff like that's gonna happen. Like, honestly, y'all, like, wow, he just like deflated the whole situation. But listen, you have to learn, kind of like what Athena said, you're really not popping unless you got a hater or two. And what he just confirmed for me is that YouTube is pushing my content to new people. Because he literally said it popped up in his algorithm and he doesn't know how. So clearly, we're getting the message out. So I am okay with that. There is a silver lining with that bullshit that he just did. So it's all good, y'all. I ain't gonna trip.
We need a salacious title for the live we're gonna do.
Oh
We need a
gosh.
salacious title so you can get some more eyes on this channel.
I might have to consult Chat GPT for that one. But
Oh, Lord.
The reason why you're poor and have no generational wealth. something to upset people.
Oh, Lord.
People be upset.
Okay, so I gotta definitely get a couple more
You want
moderators
that?
if we do that,
Miss
y'all.
Athena, I see you want all that smoke, huh?
No, because what you do, what do we learn in marketing? What you do is you upset them and then you give them the medicine. You upset them and then you give them what they need.
All right.
A spoonful of
I can dig it.
sugar helps the medicine go down. I said that in the beginning. So
You did.
I'm telling you,
Turpentine. So that's that turpentine with a little sugar.
Yes, girl. So look, okay. So I think like I said, if you all are down, I think we do need to discuss that topic of generational wealth and what it means to us, what it looks like in society, and what each of us kind of sees our respective roles in it. I think that that's a great topic because we all might have different ideas of it. So I think it's good to share that with people and so they can see that there are women that look like us that are actually thinking. We're not out here just, like this is my favorite quote, Shelley knows, flailing in the wind. So, they need to know that there are women like us that exist and that, it's not really all that crazy stuff they see on social media. A lot of us are actually thinkers and we want to do better. So that's it. All right, ladies. So before we close out, do you have any closing thoughts? And honestly, since you're here, anything that you guys want to promote or let people know about each one of you? I'll let Athena go first and Shelley, whatever you want to share.
Okay.
Well, thank you for inspiring me to join this live while I was trying to go to sleep, girl.
I know.
I
was supposed to be 1 o'clock.
I know, but I slept earlier today, so that's probably why I can't sleep. But anyway.
Oh, I hate that.
It's been a pleasure to join you on your channel and for your members. I am a member, so I'm glad that I cammed up today. What I want to tell everyone as a closing thought is this. In life, we are going to have multiple pivots in multiple different areas. And I think what is key is recognizing when those moments arise for you and to be brave enough to take those moments. I think a lot of us are having these pivots because the economic environments are changing. And it is also indicating that as these environments are shifting, we need to shift along with them or we will be left behind. Okay, the strong will always find a way and the weak will get lost. We are already a part of, most of us, a group that is already losing. So we cannot afford to stay. Do you want to be on a winning team? So with that being said, I think a lot of us need to just recognize the times that we need to pivot, and a lot of those pivots will be financial and to support and engage in material and education like Victoria's channel, my channel, Mentor Shelley's channel, and focus on that personal development and improvement and focus on creating and generating wealth in all aspects whether it's in your mind, your spiritual, your financial, the business of you, as Mentor Shelley was talking about, that needs to be in the forefront, and you need to create that abundance in all forms to elevate and to navigate those shifts. So if you are in a position where you feel like things are not working out the way that you would like, or you're not satisfied with your life, because I think a lot of us do things, party, drink, smoke, whatever, to cope with our dissatisfaction. And one of the things my dad said that really stuck with me is that you're not supposed to be coping with certain things. Certain things are supposed to irritate you, upset you, to get you to move. So if you're feeling like you need to move and you need to pivot, submit yourself to that process and at least acknowledge and be accountable to those feelings. And then you can start the journey of what you need to do for your next steps. My name is Athena. I am the founder of We Wealth. My website is wewealthgroup.com. All my social handles are at We Wealth Group. It has been a pleasure.
Well, all righty then.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
Shelley.
All right, this is Mentor Shelley. Of course, wanting to make sure that you become a better version of yourself professionally. It has been an absolute pleasure to participate in this live, because we are all in one way, shape, or form pivoting from one level to the next. Hopefully, it is in the place we want or the place we need to pivot to. There are things that are changing in our economy. There are things that are changing in the very jobs or economic situations we're in, and nothing ever changes in comfort. So we are uncomfortable because it is time to make that pivot. I invite you, if you are wanting to pivot in the areas of credit, I'm going to hand it over back to Credit Solutionist to make sure you check out her call. I think My Credit Call, is that the right website for your appointments, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. You
Okay.
guys, yeah. So
Yeah.
are you done? Because I'm gonna give my little.
Very much so, but you invited us on your panel. I have to at least make sure. I invite you, make sure they know who is the HNIC on this channel. So,
Hey!
I want to also make sure that you guys, if you are looking for career direction, personal branding, because personal branding can mean personal branding for your business, personal branding for your career, or if you're looking for other career services, you can definitely go to mentorshelley.com/consultations for all of that. If you have students getting ready to graduate from high school and or college, you can go to mentorshelley.com/book for the book From Clueless Teenager to Consummate Professional, 7 Steps to Get the Career and Life You Want. I wrote that book so that I could talk back or give advice to my 20-year-old self or people that are in that position, so they don't have to go through the wahala being baptized by fire to figure out whatever it is that they wanted to do with their career. So
I love that.
And that was
my vocabulary, wahala.
yes.
and you said Mentor Shelley, that was mentorshelley.com
/
consultation.
consultations. Yes, ma'am.
Got it. Okay, guys, on the screen. And then also, if you want to reach Athena, there you go. That's 4 W's, but I think she meant 3, y'all.
It's late. It's
okay,
late.
Y'all, use your brains.
I also have complimentary client discovery sessions. So if anyone wants to make an appointment with me, there are complimentary client discovery sessions on my website that you can book.
Talk to her, y'all. She better than me. Okay, listen. But no, I do not knock the hustle whatsoever. So y'all, listen, we bring quality guests on this show. Thank you, ladies, for absolutely helping me with this last part of the show. I thoroughly enjoyed having you all come on and really bring some perspective to this whole idea of the pivot. And I think this is something we're going to go with for the rest of this year because it's just such a strong message. And It resonates with so many of us. So you guys, as Mentor Shelly was saying, if you have any issues as far as, you want to get your credit score right so you can flex on these hoes, I had to say it. And if you need some help.
I say float. Float on these hoes. You know that Janelle Monáe song called Float? That's been on repeat.
Float on these hoes, flex on them, do whatever you got to do, y'all. This is the year, okay, to really make your dreams happen. So if you need help with that, whether it's debt or credit, I am absolutely the person for you. So you can book a talk with me one-on-one over at www.mycreditcall.com. And if you want to do any of your credit journey by yourself, you're autonomous, you're independent, it's fine. Go on over to fixmyficonow.com and download our DIY credit repair products. Thank you so much again, ladies. And I definitely enjoyed this. And you guys, share this with someone that you think might find it helpful. And yeah, we'll see you guys on the next video. This was so great, you guys. All right, Credit Solutionists out, guys. Have a good night.
Good night.